absolutely perfect day at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as the NFL begins its 72nd season. It's the Green Bay Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles. And hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler along with Dan Fouts. It's the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers here at Lambeau Field today. A perfect day for a football game. Perfect day for Rich Kotite to start his coaching career with the Eagles.
Well, you bet, Brad. The thing with Kotite is he's already alienated the Philadelphia media by closing practices this week. They're dubbed him Richie Uptight. But one thing that Kotite has going for him is a very talented football team led by a bunch of all-pros, Reggie White and Randall Cunningham.
And, of course, you talk about the other side of the coin, and when you talk to these two defenses, as we have the last couple of days, you'd think they were preparing for the same type of player.
Well, what we have today are the two most exciting quarterbacks in the NFL because of their ability to run with the ball. Randall Cunningham, and for the Packers, Don Majkowski. Majkowski's back from that severe shoulder injury of last year. This is going to be a great football game.
Well, the Packers are hoping to return to form of '89 when they went 10-6. Last year, a disappointing 6-10. And Majkowski injured for much of that, as we've talked about. He missed the final 5 games. The Eagles, of course, were in the playoffs last year before being bumped out by the Washington Redskins in round 1. Roger Ruzick will tee it up as the Packers have won the toss and elected to receive. Back deep, Vince Workman, Vi Sikahema, and Charles Wilson. It's about 68 degrees, picture perfect, and all the warm weather that they've had in Green Bay for the past week or so went out with a cold front yesterday, and it is perfect to start the season. Ruzick wants that football on the tee perfectly before we get underway.
You see all these Packer fans in their shirt sleeves, but you've got to know that those Parkers are in the trunk.
They're close at hand. The Packers beginning their 71st season. They've only missed one of the 72 in the NFL. Just about ready to get underway for 91. If Ruzick can finally get that football to stay up there for him.
Well, John Madden talked about bunting. Maybe that's a bunt in football there where it falls off the tee.
The Eagles went 4-1 in the preseason and won 4 straight. Their magnificent quarterback, Randall Cunningham, was near perfect. The Green Bay Packers, 2-2 preseason. They're excited about the return of their quarterback, Don Majkowski, who we will see in a moment. We're all set, folks. The 91 NFL season is underway. Workman has trouble with it at the 5. Recovers and got out near the 14-yard line, and that is where the Packers will go to work. Don Majkowski, the magic man, who has captured the hearts of the fans in this part of the country. Last year, having been injured against Phoenix, but now back and at full strength. Let's take a look at the Green Bay Packer front wall. Rutgers, Moran, Campen, Hallstrom, Tony Mandrich, Ed West is the tight end. And here's who Majkowski has to work with. Woodside and Thompson in the backfield. Perry Kemp, Sterling Sharp, his wide receivers. The Packers actually will start with 2 tight ends right now because they work inside their own 15. So Ed West is joined by Jackie Harris. And that is Harris in motion. Darrell Thompson, the single setback, is popped in the backfield and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. And that Philadelphia Eagle defense, a tough one. Reggie White, the man that made the tackle on the front wall, along with Clyde Simmons, Mike Pitts, and Mike Golick. The linebackers, Jesse Small, Byron Evans, and Seth Joyner, who just signed the middle of this week. The secondary, Wes Hopkins and Andre Waters, the safeties, Ben Smith and Eric Allen are the corners. Very little gain, if any, for Darrell Thompson. And Majkowski looks at 2nd and long. 2nd down and 10 for the Packers. Inside in there now with Darrell Thompson and an eye backfield. Lock 500. Majkowski changes things and wants to throw the quick out and got it out to Sterling Sharp, who wheels across the 20-yard line. And Ben Smith knocked him out of bounds.
Well, Sterling Sharp catches the first ball thrown to him, and if he has his way, Brad, he'll catch everything that is thrown his way this year. His goal is to make 109 catches. That, of course, would give him an all-time NFL record. His best year was back in 1989 when he caught 90, and he felt that he had 20 balls that he should have caught, and that would have put him right there. But to catch them all here in Green Bay with this weather, it's not always as beautiful as it is today.
Packers go with 3 wideouts. As Charles Wilson there to the bottom of your screen is the third for Mikowski from the shotgun on 3rd and 3. Wide open across the middle is Workman with a lot of room. To the 46-yard line goes Vince Workman. Andre Waters knocked him out of bounds, but Workman got 25.
Well, Workman's working out of the backfield, number 46. Watch him go down and across the middle, and the linebacker who has man-to-man coverage is way late. Good protection for Mikowski, and now Workman working out of the 4-receiver set where he is called the flushback, and that position will get a lot of balls thrown that way in the nickel situations. Workman with a big gain gets the Packers out of a hole early.
The Packers' initial first down of the season, and they're out to the 46-yard line. Harry Kemp in motion. It'll be Darrell Thompson. Make it Keith Woodside, who maybe got a yard. That's about all. Mike Golick in on the stop, number 90.
In talking to Lindy and Fonnie yesterday, Brad, he told us that rather candid conversation. There was none of that, well, we got to establish our running game to beat the Eagles. He said, we've got to make big plays. And, of course, the big plays normally come from the pass plays. The Packers were terrible last year running the ball.
Packers have a 2nd down and long 8 just inside their own 48-yard line. Thompson cuts back and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Mike Pitts made the tackle. Pitts, one of the guys that was in camp on time for the Eagles. They had a lot of holdouts, but he's been here since the beginning.
Well, he missed a lot of games last year. He missed 12 with a sore left knee, and he makes the play here on a misdirection that was supposed to fool the defensive lineman. But these Eagles, they get across the line of scrimmage, they get that good penetration, and then they react. And when you have talented people like Pitts, Simmons, Golick, White, and Jerome Brown now, that's a heck of a front line.
And you'd think they'd pin their ears back here on 3rd down and 8. 4 wideouts for Mikowski again from the spread. Mikowski with time, running out of it, and down he goes. Reggie White back at the 44-yard line.
This is a matchup that the Eagles like and the Packers are a little bit worried about. Every team is worried when they go against Reggie White, the best defensive lineman in football, and he is off to a great start. First sack in the first quarter. Working on Tony Mandrich, the right tackle, and former number 1 pick of the Packers, who actually had a pretty good shot in there, but White with a great spin move for the sack. And the first NFL regular season punt for Paul McJulian goes to the 19-yard line to Rod Harris, who's got some room, and got it out to the 38-yard line. 35-yard punt and a 20-yard return. Johnny Holland made the stop on special teams. So the Philadelphia Eagles give 1 first down to the Packers and then hold, and now the Eagles take over with number 12, Randall Cunningham, at the controls. Cunningham, who had a tremendous season last year, 30 touchdowns in the air. He led the Eagles in rushing for the 4th straight season, and he's got a pretty good group to join him. Dave Alexander, Ron Salt, Bruce Colley, Cecil Gray, and Antone Davis across his front wall. First down, Eagles from their own 38. Thomas Sanders got the corner, broke a tackle, and got out to the 47-yard line. Picked up almost 9. Sanders running behind this front wall. There's Gray, Colley, Alexander, Salt, and Antone Davis, their number 1 draft choice. Keith Jackson, arguably the best tight end in the NFL. Here's the backfield: Keith Byers and Thomas Sanders, Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams, who were rookies this time a year ago, and now in their 2nd year, and they're expecting big seasons. And Randall Cunningham expecting big things from those 2 second-year wideouts. It's 2nd down and 1.
2nd and 1 from the 47.
Eagles at their own 47-yard line. Byers lined up as a tight end on the left side. It's Sanders for the first down, and he got to the 49. Tony Bennett in on the tackle for Green Bay. Let's take a look at the Green Bay defense. Brock, Tuaolo, and Brown. Tuaolo is a rookie. Scott Stephen, Brian Noble, Johnny Holland, and Tony Bennett, who just made that tackle. Playing for the holdout, Tim Harris at that linebacker position. The corners, Jerry Holmes and Leroy Butler, Cecil and Murphy are the safeties. So already the Eagles in Green Bay territory with 10 minutes to go first quarter. No score here in Green Bay. Fred Barnett in motion as Cunningham rolls and throws on the run to Byers, and Byers all the way to the Green Bay 30-yard line. Jerry Holmes knocked him out of bounds, but he picked up 19 yards.
You talked about Keith Jackson being arguably the best tight end in football. Well, this is the most versatile player in the National Football League, Keith Byers. His ability to come out of the backfield, as he does on this play, and then make the grab and use his running back instincts to get up the field, lower his shoulder, and punish the defensive back is the key to the Eagles' success again this year.
You know, Dan, interesting talking to Cunningham. He says, hey, I've got the 2 best tight ends in football. That's how he refers to Keith Byers. And with good cause, he got him a first down at the 30-yard line. That's Byers in motion. And penalty markers down. Bruce Colley may have jumped off the left side offensively for Philadelphia.
Yeah, that left side really got a jump that time. Both Colley and Gray got off a little bit early. They'll probably blame it on Gray because he's he's the youngster of the two.
Ball start. Prior to the snap, number 71, offense, still first down.
You called it. Call it on the second-year guy, right?
Well, this is Cecil Gray's first game as an offensive tackle in his life. Never played here. Of course, in the preseason, he got 5 games in there, but this is the big time. They all count from now on.
So with a penalty, backed up to the 35, where it's first and 15. Cunningham is yet to throw to one of his wide receivers, and this time we've got markers down again as Nessler Tuaolo says that Dave Alexander moved from the center spot. We'll wait and see.
We have to have the ceremonial finger pointing first.
Dallas early on Cleveland with a field goal.
And the Packers had more fingers pointing at the Eagles. They won. So the one thing that Richie Kotite talked about is penalties, eliminating them. And in this first drive, we've got 2 in a row against his Eagles.
False start. Prior to the snap, number 69, offense, still first down.
This time they call it on Bruce Colley, the left guard. And so that virtually wipes out a good part of the gain on the pass play to Byers. It's backed up to the 40 where it's first and 20. Cunningham may take off, and then again he may not. Nessler Tuaolo. What do you think he's saying about now? You've talked to this guy about 3 times this week.
He said, I just want to sack him twice. Well, he's off to a great start with his first NFL sack, Nessler Tuaolo. And here in Green Bay, the veterans have a little bit of a difficult time with the pronunciation of his Samoan name. Some of them call him Tualo, some of them call him T.
Some of them call him E.T.
You keep making sacks like that, young man, they're going to get that pronunciation just right.
Now it's second down and 29. Inside handoff to Sander. Patterson and Noble there to make the stop.
Whenever you're playing on the road, one of your goals is to always take the crowd out of the game. Well, the Eagles have nobody to blame but themselves for this 59,000 Packer faithful here for being in the game because of 2 penalties and a sack on the quarterback, and they're back at midfield.
Remember, the Eagles were down to the Packer 30. Now, as Dan said, they're right at the midfield stripe where it's 3rd and 30. Cunningham in trouble again. And now airs it deep, and a man out there almost intercepted by Chuck Cecil in the end zone. Cunningham showed his arm, but the Packers defense has held. So after the pass play to Byers, it Looked like things were going well for Rich Kotite's offense on their first series, but the Packers really came up and stopped the Eagles, and now Fiegels will punt it away. Nice high kick by Sikahema, lets it go, and it goes out of bounds at the 6-yard line. That is a great kick. 44-yard punt out at the 6-yard line with 7:34 to go first quarter. No score here at Lambeau Field. Field position for the Packers. Now they started their own 6 after their first drive in the 14. What do they do here, Dan?
Well, they brought 2 tight ends in, Brad, but the Packers know they're not going to make much against this Eagle defensive line running the ball. You can't nickel and dime this defense. They're so aggressive that they sometimes are vulnerable to the big play, and that's what Lindy and Fonnie's counting on today for his Packers to be successful, is guys like Sterling Sharp to make a big play on a pass reception.
Sharp and Kemp both there to the bottom of your screen on first down at the 6-yard line, and it's a trap play, and it goes nowhere. In fact, a loss of 2. Keith Woodside. Reggie White's been all over the field already, and he got help from Clyde Simmons that time.
Well, they're trying to trap the defensive end on Reggie White, number 92. This time he lines up on the right side of the defensive line, and he just handles Rich Moran, pushes him back into the backfield, and the running back had absolutely no lane to run through.
Best in the NFL last year. Give up only 73 yards, and the Packers one of the worst as far as running the football. They finished 26th in the league. Makowski rolls left, and he got deposited in the end zone by Jesse Small.
Well, we talked about Makowski and his arm strength, and this is a good decision on his part to throw this one away, but this is why he's paid $1 million plus, is because he's got to take shots like that from Jesse Small, among other people on that Eagle defense.
That rotator cuff just said, okay, I think I'm all right. Makowski, who back in March was throwing a Nerf football around, just hoping he could come back.
And that's a tough throw for him, going to his left, throwing back to his right. He has to really open up and use just his arm strength.
He told us yesterday that is still the toughest thing for him to do. Here's a tough thing to do. 3rd and 12 against the Eagles in your own end zone. Flags down as Workman lost more yardage. The Eagles defense swarming around the Packers. Pat Haggerty offside against Philadelphia. That helps the Packers cause a bit.
Yeah, we had somebody in the neutral zone, which is the length of the football, and another mistake for the Eagles with a penalty.
Offside. Number 30. Defense. Still 3rd down.
That's one of the things Rich Kotite said he wanted to improve on this Philadelphia team.
But these types of penalties, the offside penalties, are the correctable ones. And the penalties that he didn't like so much in the years past with the Eagles are the unnecessary ones, such as roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct.
At the 9-yard line, 3rd down and 7 for Green Bay. No score here in the first quarter at Lambeau Field with 6.5 minutes to go. 4 wideouts. Makowski stumbles as he drops back and now goes deep for Weathers. Overshot him. Izell Jenkins was back covering.
The one thing about that Eagle defensive line and the pressure they put on the quarterback, you notice Makowski doesn't have a whole lot of time to look around for his alternate receivers. He pretty much has to zero in on one guy and hope that that one guy beats that coverage.
Paul McJulian just signed by the Packers this week. His first regular season NFL game, and Rod Harris back deep. Got 19 on his first punt return. Julian got all of this one. Harris at the 42. And he got out to the 47. Nice coverage by the Packers. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in Green Bay. Still no score in the first quarter. Eagles' #1 draft choice, Anton Davis, 6'4", 325. The right tackle.
And he has a large following. Thomas Sanders told me earlier in the week that he has really improved, and he's given the Eagles a feeling that they can run the ball. I mean, the guy is so big and so strong, but in Thomas's mind, he's not the biggest guy he's ever played with. Remember, Sanders spent some time in Chicago with the Fridge.
Two tight ends on top of big Antone Davis and company for the Eagles from their own 47. Thomas Sanders. Stretching it out beautifully was Scott Stephen, the outside linebacker.
Well, if the Packers are going to be successful stopping the Eagle running game, it's going to be because they're going to swarm all over the field. They have to be tenacious. They don't have a lot of superstars on this defense, but what they have is a lot of young guys who are hungry to play football, and this is illustrated by the pursuit that they get on this type of play. Sanders is looking for the corner, but he's stretched out there. Holmes turns him back to the inside where the linebackers are waiting.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Philadelphia. Calvin Williams in motion. Cunningham, down he goes again. Bryce Pop this time with a 2nd sack of the day for Green Bay.
Well, Pop is working against Antone Davis on the outside, and this is what gives Antone some problems, is that hard outside rush. And Pop, with the quintessential linebacker name, picks up his first sack.
Last year, only 27 sacks, the fewest in the NFC for the Green Bay Packers. Today, it's a sack attack so far early on Randall Cunningham, who faces now 3rd down and a Green Bay cab ride. And he's in trouble again. Just got rid of it and then got leveled. Incomplete. And a punting situation again for Philadelphia. By Sikahema back. Fiegels to kick. Sikahema will take this one at the 14. And got out across the 18-yard line and goes down there with 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go. First quarter. Still no score between the Packers and the Eagles. Aaron Crickstein and Jimmy Connors, who's been quite a story. He's almost as old as Dan Fouts. In fact, his birthday's tomorrow, and that's the big one on CBS. Right here, no score at Lambeau Field. The Eagle defense with their holdouts all in now, and that includes Jerome Brown, the big fella who will play tackle, all-pro a year ago.
And what they'll do with Brown and Pitts and Simmons is they'll rotate them, and with Reggie White, they'll play hide and seek. Sometimes left end, sometimes nose guard, sometimes right end.
Makowski off play action. Got it out to Woodside, and did he take a shot? Ben Smith made the hit on the corner.
Well, the respect that an all-pro Jerome Brown gets in his first game is a double team from the Packers. Off the play action, Moran and Campen are going to work. You watch Campen checking the nose man and then going out and helping his left guard. That's great teamwork up front.
Jerome Brown, who came in actually in pretty good shape. He's around 297, which is lower than he normally would be.
No longer the reason the plane tilts to the left side if he's sitting on the left side of the aisle.
He gave that honor to Antone Davis last night when we talked to him. He said, I've taken grief for years about our plane not getting off the ground in time. Lindy Infante in his 4th season as head coach of the Packers. 2 years ago was the high water mark, of course, 10-6. Last year a 6-10 season.
And his biggest concern yesterday was after when we met with him is he wanted to go home and see if his dog would still recognize him. The dog did. Of course, the dog doesn't read the papers. He just uses them.
2nd down. And about 7 for the Packers. Long count by Makowski. Wants to throw the slant. Almost intercepted by Eric Allen. Let's get an update now, and we go to Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
Well, Brad, at Cleveland, you saw the score. The Browns in the lead. Kevin Mack set up by a pass interference call on the Cowboys goes 1 yard, and then we have the first post-touchdown scuffle of the season between Mack and rookie linebacker Derek Brownlow. Second quarter now, Cleveland in the lead.
Kevin Mack almost ready for Evander Holyfield after that touchdown. 3:51 to go first quarter. No score in Green Bay. And it's 3rd down and 7 for Don Makowski. Again from the shotgun. Sterling Sharp. First down, Green Bay at the 37.
Now Mikowski got time to throw on that pass play. And Sharp's the inside receiver here, working against man-to-man coverage. And then the first man drops off into a zone. That has to be a mistake by Otis Smith. You saw Eric Allen stay with his man. And then Sharp makes that first tackler miss almost every time. And you can see he's one of the tops. And all these guys, he says, are the people that he compares himself to every Sunday.
212 receptions in just 3 seasons. As we said earlier, 90 catches a couple of years ago. He got Green Bay a first down at the 38. Keith Woodside. And for the first time all day, the Packers get 4 yards on a rushing attempt. Reggie White made the tackle. With Dan Fouts, I'm Brad Nessler. We're at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin on a picture-perfect day to start September and the NFL season. 68 degrees and blue skies at game time and no score with 2:43 to go first quarter. This is about as far as the Packers have driven so far today. They've had awful field position, while Philadelphia's had excellent field position, but the Green Bay defense has taken that away. Second down and 6 from the 42-yard line. 3 wideouts for Mikowski. And a big opening for Darrell Thompson. And he's into Eagle territory. Darrell Thompson, an 11-yard gain before Wes Hopkins could bring him down.
Well, watch the offensive line come off here. Man-to-man blocking up front. Good job here of Moran recognizing that his man went inside. He went off and picked up the middle linebacker, Byron Evans, and that's a huge hole. And that's just what the Packers need, is a running game that's successful to take some of the heat off the quarterback.
Thompson, one of their 2 first-round draft choices from last year. Total offense, you see, Green Bay has dominated so far. Darrell Thompson, the single setback on first down. The Packers at the Eagle 47-yard line. Thompson had to work for it this time and got only about a yard, maybe 2. Byron Evans made the first hit. Green Bay without the top 2 backs they had a year ago. Michael Haddix was their leading rusher, and here's the guy, number 39, that they expect to carry the load out of the backfield.
They let go Haddix. He only gained 311 yards rushing last year, and it was a tough cut for Lindy Infante, but they felt that they drafted Darrell Thompson in the 2nd round last year. Actually, in the 1st round. He's the 2nd player taken in that 1st round, and he's going to be the man that gets the running attack going.
He had over 4,500 yards in his collegiate career at the University of Minnesota. Mikowski had it swatted in the air, and it's picked off, and it's Golick. Mike Golick with the interception after Reggie White tipped it in the air.
Well, after White tipped it, Mikowski tipped it again, trying to knock it to the ground, and that's where Golick picked it up. Watch the pressure right now, right up the middle. Golick's right in on the quarterback, forces him to throw it early. Super play by Reggie, knocking it with his left hand. Then Mikowski slapped it up in the air with his left hand. And Mike Golick picks up the interception. He tried to lateral at the last second.
Golick returns it to the 29. Let's see if the Eagles take advantage of the turnover. Keith Byers fights his way for a couple. Robert Brown defensively to make the stop.
Well, you talk about the bounce of the ball. First, Reggie White makes a great play to deflect the pass, and all Mikowski's doing is trying to prevent the interception, and he ends up creating it by knocking it up in the air for Golick to pick it off.
Byers limps back to the huddle just a bit. Rich Kotite says the Eagles will use him more as a running back instead of a receiver this year. And our first quarter comes to a close with the Eagles at the Packer 26-yard line. That's the end of one at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. No score between the Packers and the Eagles.
Packers haven't, and we're in shirt sleeves. How about that?
Mike Golick's third career interception has set the Eagles up. They are right now at the Packer 27-yard line. Cunningham throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Fred Barnett. And Cunningham is down.
Take a look at what happened. And he's got the wind knocked out of him at least. It's Bryce Pop again, and that's right around that left knee. And I tell you what, that looks like a hyperextension. We hope that's all it is, but he is in a lot of pain.
Jim McMahon's got the helmet on and is warming up.
But again, it's Bryce Pop with the pressure.
14:56 to go first half. We'll check on Randall Cunningham when we come back to Green Bay.
By Miller Lite. It's it. And that's that.
Randall Cunningham, having injured his left knee, gives way to Jim McMahon. And he's not going to win any People's Choice Awards here at Lambeau Field, is he?
Well, you remember who he played for before he came to the Eagles by way of San Diego. You don't think that these Packer fans have forgotten that McMahon used to play for the Bears, do you? Ironically enough, a former Bear playing quarterback for the Eagles. Mike Tomczak, a former Bear, is a backup for the Packers.
3rd and 7. Williams in motion. McMahon to Byers, and I don't know. Will they give him the first down or not? It looks like they gave him a good spot. The ball went out of bounds. Looked like he was down on this side of the stick. That's a real heads-up play by Keith Byers as he reached out to try to get the first down. And fortunately for him, when the ball hit the ground, it bounced forward and went out of bounds just far enough for the Eagles to pick up this first down. Watch the dive here, and he's already lost possession of the ball, but it landed just far enough, and it's an Eagle first down inside the 20-yard line. Now, if that's the final couple of minutes of a game, they don't allow that. But they do here in the second quarter. Still, they continue to work on Randall Cunningham. Well, now they're going to review it, and they may bring this one back to where he lost possession of the ball. Pat Haggerty's going to straighten it out for us here in a moment.
The play is being reviewed.
What they're looking at, and they have 2 minutes from right now to make a decision, is where was the ball when Byers lost possession of it? Was it forward enough for the first down? Tough to tell from that angle, but this one will show us that he did not have the first down when he loses possession. They're going to move this one back to about the 20-yard line, and it'll be short of the first down.
Rich Kotite in his first season as head coach of the Eagles, their offensive coordinator a year ago under Buddy Ryan.
And is he happy he has a quarterback by the name of Jim McMahon as his backup? Remember talking to Buddy Ryan last year when they made, or 2 years ago when they made the acquisition for McMahon, saying how important it was to have that type of experience, number one, but also leadership. Nobody has ever said anything negative about Jim McMahon's ability to be a leader.
As you said to me before the game, he's made Randall Cunningham a better quarterback too.
Well, what he does is he gives pressure in a very subtle way to Cunningham to stay on top of his game, because this fella here has been somewhere where a lot of us have never been, and that's in that winning locker room after a Super Bowl game. You know, this guy has never been hurt in his life, I don't think. I know one thing. He, coming into today, this was his 62nd, that's 6'2", consecutive starts.
Only he and Marino have been able to survive every game at quarterback since back in '87. You see the big ice pack on the left knee. And even if he can play, Dan, you talk about taking away one part of his game. I mean, there goes the scrambling ability today, whether he can come back or not.
Well, and he's just checked himself out of this game. You saw him reach up under his pads to loosen his shoulder pads. And here's the call.
Reversal. The ball will be placed on the 21-yard line.
And what a difference a call can make.
That's a good call, because you can't throw the ball forward to get extra yardage. And when he had possession, he was shy of the first down.
So Roger Ruzek will come in Jeff Fiegels, the punter, to hold. Ruzick will try to break a scoreless tie from 37 yards out.
A field goal. 37 yards for the Eagles.
.36 to go first half, no score, and Roger Ruzick trying to change that here from 37 yards away. And he does. Our first score of the game comes with 14 minutes, 32 seconds to go first half. It's the Eagles 3 and the Packers nothing. Play what Rich Kotite and the Eagles fans were looking forward to in the first game of the season. Randall Cunningham is on his way to the Eagle locker room. Again, Cunningham, Bud Carson, defensive coordinators, having some words with the officials. Bryce Popp is the guy that put the hit on and put the pressure on Cunningham, who had that left leg planted as he threw. Our Coors Light game summary: Roger Ruzick's 37-yard field goal, the only scoring to this point. And of course, the big news: Randall Cunningham with a sprained left knee is the word we just got from the sideline, and they're going to take him to the locker room for x-rays.
It's really a quarterback's worst fear is as he steps forward with that left leg, if somebody falls on it, he is totally defenseless, and that's exactly what happened to Cunningham. As Pop delivered a clean shot, it was low, and it did take out his left knee. We're hoping, of course, that it's just a sprain, but that's what the x-rays are for.
And how that changes the complexion of this game offensively for the Philadelphia Eagles, because Jim McMahon obviously is not going to rush for 930 yards on a season, so that part of the game is going to disappear, although he knows these receivers as well as anybody.
Well, it does take away that dimension of Cunningham's. You know, they led the NFL in rushing last year, but Richie Kotite says you have to put an asterisk by that rushing mark because of Cunningham's 900-plus yards.
Ruzick, who just hit the field goal, will kick it deep, and it'll be taken by Charles Wilson at the 2-yard line. Wilson only to the 19-yard line, and the rookie William Thomas made the stop on special teams. Coming up later today, our doubleheader here on CBS. Many of you will see the Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field. Phoenix and the Rams, another game coming up later. You can check your local listings. You have to go back a long time between Minnesota and Chicago to not find one of them winning the NFC Central Division Championship, so that'll be a big one for both those clubs to start the season. Green Bay, of course, hopes to fit in there in the NFC Central Division standings. And right now they trail 3-0. Sprained ligaments in the left knee is the word we just received from the Eagles locker room. And Randall Cunningham is done for the day.
We talked about field position, and Philadelphia has had it. For only scoring 3 points, they have wasted tremendous field position.
Don Majkowski and the Packer offense from the 19. Majkowski almost had it intercepted again. Byron Evans had a shot at that one. Woodside was the man cutting across the middle. That's where Majkowski was trying to go with it. Andre Waters, a strong safety. He's lost about 20 pounds in the last year, trying to improve his speed. And you know he's always going to be mixing it up in there with somebody. Majkowski 4 out of 9 for 51 yards and an interception here. Darrell Thompson met by Jerome Brown as he hit the line of scrimmage. Got about a yard. That's all. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, last year the Packers were 26th in the league in rushing, and they have not cured their rushing problems against this Eagle football team. Jerome Brown with the big play there, but he had a lot of help as well.
Jerome Brown, who made the Pro Bowl last year, and he admits that he maybe made it on his reputation from the previous season when he had a whale of a year. Big number 99 right in the middle. 3rd and 9. Majkowski completes this one to Wilson, but he's not going to get the first down. as Andre Waters came up from his safety spot along with Ben Smith, the cornerback, and it's 3 and out for Green Bay.
Bit of a change for the Eagles that time in their secondary coverage under new defensive coordinator Bud Carson. They're going to play a lot more zone this year, and that time with the 3rd and long situation, they let Wilson get that short pass, and then they converged and held him before he got the first down.
Paul McJulian to punt, his longest, 50 yards so far today. And he didn't get this one like he would want to. Off the side of his foot and out of bounds, and the Eagles again will have tremendous field position to start offensively when we come back. 12:49 to go first half. The Eagles lead by 3. There's tattoo there on the big gun on the left arm. Green Bay trails 3-0.
And the thing that Lindy Infante told us yesterday, that he wanted to force Randall Cunningham to run the Philadelphia Eagle offense and let that beat him and not Cunningham's ad-libbing. Well, he's got Cunningham out of the game, and now McMahon is forced to run the offense, so things are falling into place for Infante, except for this bad field position.
An offense that's gained only 23 yards for Philadelphia so far. McMahon got it across the middle to Calvin Williams. Short gain, ball loose. And the Packers say they've come up with it. Obviously, they're going to say that looks like Philadelphia ball. We have no signal. So McMahon made something out of nothing there and got it out near the 48-yard line.
But you know, the difference there is that the Packer defensive backs could stay back on their receivers, knowing that McMahon is not the threat to run with the ball. He does buy some time in the pocket. Let's check out this fumble by Williams here. It is loose before he hits the ground, and then it's that mad scramble. Looked like the big guy Davis got it. 2nd
down at 5. Packers come with a blitz. Here comes Pop again, and he's got a hold of McMahon, who got away. In and out of the hand of Thomas Sanders. Boy, Bryce Pop's been all over the field.
Pop will come in from the left side of the screen working against Antone Davis, and he gets right by him. Actually, that is Ron Solt who's trying to hold him out, but McMahon showing a little niftiness of his own, buying some time in the pocket. That was a drop pass. That should have been an Eagle completion.
Bryce Pop was a leading tackler in the preseason. He's a 6th-round draft choice out of Northern Iowa last year.
Gotta love that name, huh? Pop.
He's popped a few people already. It's 3rd and 5, and the Eagles have not converted a 3rd down yet in 3 tries. Rod Harris in motion. McMahon got it complete, and I think they'll give 1st down yardage on a forward progress near the 45 to Fred Barnett. They're going to give Barnett down near the 44. That's good enough to move the sticks.
The one thing about McMahon is he has outstanding timing and anticipation. He's never had a real strong arm. It's been a very productive arm, but it's never been one that makes you stand up and say, wow. But what he does, he makes up for it by anticipating his receivers.
He's already 3 of 4 for 19 yards. At a 1st down, Philadelphia at the Packer 44. They lead 3-0. Fires in motion. Here comes a blitz again. Thomas Sanders flags down. Sanders got to the 41-yard line. Scott Stephen in on the stop for the Packer defense.
The offsides against the Packers.
So that'll be a 1st and 5, and they'll move it inside the Green Bay 40 with 11 minutes, 2 seconds to go first half.
Offsides, number 54, defense, still 1st down.
Brad Gable, the man with the clipboard and the Eagles cap, is the 3rd-string quarterback for Philadelphia, and he becomes a story now with Randall Cunningham done for the day.
And you also have to think about the history of injuries that Jim McMahon has had. Now, if McMahon were to get hurt slightly and Gable had to come in, McMahon could not return under the new rules.
1st and 5. Thomas Sanders sweeps to the right side. He's going to be close to a first down. Scott Stephen, the outside linebacker, again made the stop. Sanders, another former Chicago Bear, gets the handoff from McMahon and takes it close to the first down.
The thing that Richie Kotite likes about Sanders is, number one, he has outstanding speed and can get to the corner, but number two, he has patience, and that is important as far as setting up the blocks, letting his linemen get into them, and then cutting sharply off of them. That has impressed Kotite, not only this year, but last year when the Eagles picked up Thomas Sanders.
And that short of the first down is Philadelphia. Don't forget, tomorrow on CBS, our continuing coverage, fourth round action of the U.S. Open. It's underway at 12:30 Eastern Time in a featured match involving Jimmy Connors. Can he continue his impressive onslaught at the U.S. Open? He's done a great job, and he'll celebrate his birthday tomorrow in our feature match on CBS. Aaron Crickstein, his opponent. Tell you what, it's fun to watch Connors, isn't it? Is that just because we're old guys or what?
Well, he gets everything out of his abilities, plus he works the crowd pretty good.
Sure does. Second down, about a foot to go for Philadelphia. McMahon does it himself. I don't know how often I'd have my second quarterback running in this situation, but he got the first down. And a first down. Wimbledon champion Michael Steek, winner in fourth round play. Jim McMahon, ponytail, dark shield and all at the controls. If you just joined us, the first play of the second quarter, Randall Cunningham, sprained ligaments, left knee. He's done for the day. McMahon on a blitz, and he got leveled, but he got the pass out in and out of the hands of Keith Jackson. And McMahon now is going to have to scrape himself off the Lambeau Field turf.
What a fantastic throw by McMahon. Pressure was coming. He had to get it off early. And Jackson probably not used to McMahon's anticipation. Boy, he really was leveled there. This is the first ball that's been thrown to Jackson all day long, something we didn't expect. We thought he'd see a lot more, but this is just pure and simple, a drop. 1, 2, he dropped that ball 3 times.
Brings up second and 10. Philadelphia at the Green Bay 32-yard line. Both wideouts. To the left side, McMahon with time, and in and out of the hands of Byers. Brian Noble covering.
You notice the shield that McMahon is wearing. I always thought that was a real good idea for a quarterback because it hides his eyes. The defensive backs are always looking for some type of key as to where the quarterback's going to throw the ball. And before the ball is snapped, the quarterback is looking at all 4 defensive backs, maybe all 3 linebackers. He's looking at everybody, really. But with McMahon wearing the shield, he's hiding his eyes, and yet he can still see.
He's also a little light sensitive in his eyes. It's a lot of the reason that he wears shades all the time, too. People think he's just trying to be cool. See how cool he is on 3rd and 10, huh?
He's pretty cool.
From the shotgun. Packers get pressure. McMahon to Byers. It is caught for a touchdown. It's been deflection day at Lambeau Field, and twice it's gone in the Eagles' favor.
Many times when you catch a touchdown pass laying flat on your back. But this is a crazy opener. Chuck Cecil had this ball all the way. In fact, he could have called for a fair catch and made the grab. Crazy bounce of the ball. Watch McMahon put it up for grabs here. Throwing off his back foot. Cecil has it, pops it up in the air, right to Byers. Touchdown, Eagles. Again, the Packers are victimized by their own athletic ability here.
Great concentration by Byers.
Not only did he knock it in the air, he knocked it back into the end zone where Byers was laying.
As we said, it's been tip drill day here because earlier Mike Golick had an interception off a tip pass by Reggie White, and now the Eagles get another tip go their way for a touchdown. Byers, one of the Eagles quarterback's favorite targets. 32-yard touchdown catch. He's got 3 catches already today. Roger Ruzick in for the point after. 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half at Lambeau Field, and now the Eagles lead Green Bay by 10. Johnson with 9:15 to go in the half. It is Philadelphia now 10-0. As Keith Byers pulled in a 32-yard touchdown pass on a tip ball off the throw from Jim McMahon. And the fans in Green Bay are looking for some offense now. I don't know if they'll see offense through those glasses or not. With Dan Fouts, I'm Brad Nessler. Nice to have you with us to open up the NFL season. And if you're just joining us, Randall Cunningham, injured on the first play of the second quarter in this game, is done for the day with strained left knee ligaments. From the goal line is Charles Wilson. Wilson got hammered again by William Thomas, his second straight tackle on special teams. The Eagles' 8-play scoring drive covered 57 yards, a little over 3.5 minutes, and Jim McMahon throws one up for grabs, and Byers comes down with a rebound.
Boy, the Packers' field position has been absolutely terrible. They've averaged starting on their 16-yard line. This one's all the way out to the 20. Tough to go 80 yards against any defense in the NFL, but this Eagle defense is especially tough.
Don Mikowski with Darrell Thompson as his single setback as a 3-wide receiver group. And he throws a slant, and it's intercepted. And coming back the other way is Wes Hopkins. Mikowski's been intercepted twice today, and the Eagles in great shape again thanks to their defense.
You can practice, you can plan, you can work real hard, but one thing you can't account for is the bounce of the ball. This ball is a perfect throw by Mikowski, and it goes right in and out of the hands of Workman. Hopkins with the interception, and now the Eagles, who have been averaging a starting field position of about their own 49, they start at the Packers' 14.
Those two Green Bay turnovers, interceptions, one on a tipped pass that Mike Golick, the defensive tackle, got a hold of. That time, Wes Hopkins, the free safety, takes it back, a 12-yard return to the 14-yard line, where Philadelphia sets up shop on offense. McMahon, and he's intercepted by Scott Stephen. And Stephen back to the 34-yard line. And we've got a fight going on where Stephen went down. 23-yard return for Scott Stephen. They still haven't gotten him separated down there.
There's some brave men in those striped shirts out there.
Scott Stevens had a couple of big plays already. That's his biggest one of the day.
There's Jackson in motion, and he's the primary receiver here. McMahon wanted him perhaps to turn over the outside shoulder. He looked back to the inside, and Stevens cut underneath for the interception, but I'm sure that McMahon and Jackson were not on the same page here. There's the perfect strike to the defender, and I guess we're going to have that old unsportsmanlike conduct penalty thrown against both players here, and perhaps a possible ejection.
88 Philadelphia, 62 and 88.
Matt Brock and Keith Jackson, and they have both been ejected.
Well, I agree with that call, Brad. So many times you see that play where the officials will say unnecessary, unsportsmanlike conduct against both sides, and then they don't penalize anybody. This is a good rule. If there's two men that you can identify as being the instigators or the participants in the melee, toss them out of the game. That way you're penalizing both teams and both players.
Amazingly enough, two All-Pros, Randall Cunningham and Keith Jackson, now out of this game for Philadelphia. They lead, though, 10-0, as the Packers have been unable to muster anything offensively due to their field position. This is the best field position they've had to start on offense from the 34, thanks to a Scott Stephen interception a moment ago. Darrell Thompson got a couple out to the 36-yard line. And both teams still trying to mix it up a little bit. Cowboys leading Cleveland. How about New Orleans? Out in front 20-7.
The hand is for Matt Brock as he heads to the locker room. And that's the way it is when you get tossed out of the game. You can't even stay on the sidelines. You got to go get that early shower.
Packers only 20 yards rushing on the day so far. Play fake. And Mikowski, and that one dinged off Perry Kemp. Looked like it hit him right in the face mask. There has been very little magic so far today.
Now the Packer offense, because they've started with such terrible field position, they really haven't gotten untracked, and Mikowski has been victimized by the 2 interceptions. Those are very un-magic-like, if you will, statistics.
He's a very confident quarterback, though, and says that he and his teammates are a very close-knit group, and he thinks that's going to help them try to get back to the form they had in 1989. Right now they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Mikowski got away, and he'll run for it. And he took a big hit right where he needed to get for a 1st down. And there's some of that close-knit togetherness.
Well, he makes up his mind once he gets away from Reggie White that he's got to take things into his own hands. And he's not going to slide. He knows he's real close to the 1st down, and the only way to get it is to lower that head and those shoulders and dive for it. Very courageous move, especially when you think about the last 8 months of rehabilitation on that torn rotator cuff.
Now he's taken 2 shots today. He had one when he was throwing, rolling left and throwing back to the right in the end zone. And there again, he took a big shot from Rich Miano. And still, we can't speak for Mikowski, but it looks like everything's okay on that right shoulder.
Well, you never know how you can spark a football team, but this man has a lot of sparks in his game.
Remember that 9-yard run for a 1st down maybe later on. With 7 minutes to go in the half. It's 10-0 Philadelphia. Here comes a blitz on Mikowski, and he throws deep for Kemp. Fans want an interference call, and they don't get it on Ben Smith. Rich Kotite trying to back his troops up a little bit on the sideline. They don't need any more penalties. Already, Keith Jackson's been ejected. Randall Cunningham out with an injury. He doesn't want to lose any more bodies over there.
You know, that ball appeared to sail a little bit on Mikowski. I wonder what type of effect the wind, which is swirling a bit, had on that pass.
Wind was calm about 2 hours before game time, and then the last half an hour or so before you and I came up to the booth, it did start to pick up. They said it might swirl at times to 20 miles an hour this afternoon. 2nd and 10. Mikowski got hit. The ball came loose, and the Eagles have covered it. Philadelphia football.
Well, it's Reggie White knocking that one loose. Working against Tony Mandrich, number 77 at the bottom of the screen. Mandrich will run him up the field pretty good here. But Mikowski with nowhere to go with the ball. White just shows that ability of turning that corner hard, knocking the ball out of Mikowski's hand, and it's another turnover for the Packers, and the Eagles have great field position again. Watch Mikowski get a little bit nervous here. He's got nowhere to go. And then the big right hand of Reggie White knocks it loose.
Clyde Simmons covered it. And the Eagles with another golden opportunity now at the 39-yard line. 6:43 remaining 1st half. And the play's being reviewed as to whether or not it was a fumble. Sure looked like it to us.
Yeah, I mean, what could they be looking at there? That clearly was a fumble. And that's 3 turnovers now in the 1st half. This is what they're looking at up here in the press box in the replay booth.
Play stands as ruled on the field. 1st down, Philadelphia.
They just wanted to be sure, but it was well on its way to the ground before Mikowski ever landed. So Simmons fumble recovery. 2nd sack for Reggie White, by the way, too. So he's off to an all-pro start today at Lambeau Field. Keith Byers, little trap play inside, got a couple.
Keith Flyers, the ball.
Brian Noble in on the stop along with Johnny Holland.
The Packers had the worst turnover ratio in the NFC last year with a -13. Only the Cleveland Browns were worse, and this is one thing that Lindy Infante told us yesterday that's on his mind, are cutting down on the turnovers.
Noble injured his knee against the Eagles last year in Philadelphia's lopsided win over Green Bay, 31-0. Had that knee injured in the preseason this year too, and this is the first action he's seen in about a month. Second down, McMahon's got Schuler open to the 16-yard line. Mickey Schuler, who caught a ton of passes for the New York Jets, gets a big one there for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, a couple of backups are shining on this play. McMahon backing up Cunningham, who was injured and out, and Keith Jackson was tossed out of the game. Again, fortunate for the Eagles, they have quality depth, especially in a player in his 14th year like Mickey Schuler. Spent about 8 or 9 years with Richie Kotite. He wasn't quite sure. He said all the years start to blend together when you played as long as I have.
The Plan Bs are earning their money right now for the Eagles. Sanders went down after hitting his own man, and now he's going to lose more yardage. Robert Brown, Nessler Tuaolo dropped Thomas Sanders.
Well, Robert Brown is working against Cecil Gray, number 71. Watch Brown, number 93, come across the line of scrimmage and force this play as he pushes Bruce Colley into the running back, Thomas Sanders. Sanders has nowhere to go, and then help comes Tualo. There, I'm not getting it very good either. E.T., how about that?
Loss of 7, 2nd and 17. And Sean Patterson taps Cecil Gray, the left tackle, saying that he came out of his stance. Let's see if he's right. I would think right now, Dan, it'd be a major accomplishment for
Encroachment. Number 96, defense.
Well, it goes against Patterson. I would think for Green Bay, they would be happy to only give up maybe a field goal attempt here. They can't afford to get down 17-0 to the Eagles right now.
Well, the one thing about it is, Brad, is that they've been really victimized by bad bounces. We've seen a couple of interceptions, and of course, Byers catching the touchdown pass flat on his back. That's just plain unlucky. You got to make your own breaks, but you also need to get lucky somewhere along the line.
So far, the Packers haven't had any of that. The Eagles have had it all. It is second down and a long 11 at the 17-yard line. Sanders got around Stephen, got the corner before Cecil and Holmes can run him out on the far sideline. Thomas Sanders, the reason Rich Kotite says that he is the starter is he's got that little bit of extra zip heading for the corner, and he shows it here.
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. Watch as Sanders appears to be hemmed in here by Stephen, but this speed is just too much. Not only does he get by Stephen, he gets by Chuck Cecil and down to the third guy, Jerry Holmes.
Sanders, 13 yards on his 7 carries. Third down and 6. McMahon from the shotgun. Plenty of time, and now running out of it. Tony Bennett. And he couldn't have come up with a sack at a better time.
Well, he knows that he's filling in for Tim Harris, and he said his ideal day today would be 3 sacks. That's a pretty tall order for a second-year guy. In fact, last year as a rookie, he only got 3, but he was working against a very inexperienced left tackle there in Cecil Gray.
Third sack of the day. And a 40-yard field goal attempt is what Ruzick will try. Hit from 37 earlier. And he's got his second 3-pointer of the afternoon. Rich Kotite's Eagles lead the Green Bay Packers 13-0. 3:47 to go in the half. Cheesy here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
That's the summer version. You notice the convertible
the hole
top
in the
there.
top.
Yeah.
That's right. The winter version has ear flaps. 13-0. Philadelphia in front with 3:47 to go first half. Brad Nessler and Dan Fouts along with you. And so far it's been all Eagles, despite the fact Randall Cunningham's been lost with a knee injury. Some bad bounces of the ball have gone against the Green Bay Packers. Ruzek kicks short this time. Wilson's really got to come up on it to make a grab at the 16. And now weaves his way out across the 30. William Thomas helps out on the tackle again on special teams. He's been the key player for the Eagles so far. Don't forget, coming up later today on CBS Sports, part 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field. Phoenix and the Rams also will do battle. Check the local listings for the game in your area.
We'll see how that new offense for the Minnesota Vikings work. One back, of course, it's Herschel Walker, very talented young man.
It's not a bad one to have if you're going to use one. First down, Green Bay. Their own 31-yard line. Got 3:36 to work before intermission. Vince Workman in motion. They fake the end around to him, and again, pass tip by Reggie White. Reggie White could maybe play big forward for the Chicago Bulls when this day's over. I don't know.
He could play anything he wants. This is just athletic ability. Nice fake, good play design, but again, one thing you can't account for as a coach is individual effort. And that time, Reggie White with another super play.
2 passes defended, 2 sacks for White, and a second down and 10 for Mikowski and the Packers.
And he forced that last fumble by Mikowski.
That's right.
He's accounted for 2 turnovers.
Workman with flags down, got out near the 35-yard line.
I think they're going to get Jackie Harris, the tight end, on the right side of the line for flinching before the ball was snapped.
That's going to go against Philadelphia.
Well, perhaps he had reason to flinch.
Could be.
That's lining up in the neutral zone. That flag was thrown as soon as the ball was snapped.
Offsides. Defense. Number 59. Still second down.
Seth Joyner.
We've had offsides against the defense, and we've had encroachment against the defense. Encroachment's when you come across and make contact. Offsides is when you're lined up in the neutral zone and don't make any contact.
Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, doesn't like either one.
No.
There's a penalty situation to this point. 2nd and 5 now for Green Bay. At its own 36-yard line. Mikowski's going to call a timeout.
Smart move. The 45-second clock was down to 1 second. And Mikowski likes to use a lot of inflection in his voice, and he might have been wanting to change the play perhaps. The Packers move around a lot before the ball is snapped with shifting and motion and heads up. That's one of the best things the NFL did, was to put those 25, 45-second clocks in the stadiums. Really an advantage to a quarterback.
Last year, Mikowski in mid-November was injured in Phoenix. Freddie Joe Nunn put the tackle on him that did his rotator cuff in, and then the surgery in December and the long rehab, and has come on, and he's just happy he's throwing the football for the Green Bay Packers right now.
Well, he went out to the San Diego Chargers team physician Gary Losey and had that surgery done in San Diego. The reason he found out about Losey was from Mike Tomczak, who had a similar operation by the same doctor. Now, Tomczak found out by Jim Lachey, who was a college teammate at Ohio State and a teammate of mine. Lachey told Tomczak, hey, if this doctor can keep Fouts going, you ought to come out and see him.
2nd down and 5. Second man through is Workman, and he got out to the 39-yard line. Still a couple of yards shy of the first down. Workman, another former Ohio State Buckeye.
Well, it's so important for the Packers to go down and at least get 3 points out of this possession. Time running down in the end of this first half, but this is a time of game that Mikowski really excels in.
Saw Bart Starr's name along with many others around the new wall of honor here at Lambeau Field, a new addition. And boy, you look at some of the names, and we start with Lombardi and Willie Davidson, Ray Nitschke, Bart Starr, Jim Taylor, and Curly Lambeau. A lot of tradition, of course, in this city.
Titletown.
3rd down and almost 2 to go for Green Bay. They need this one. Nice play fake. Mikowski's got a man wide open. Ed West is tight end. Ed West doesn't catch many, but he catches some big ones. First down, Green Bay.
This is the same type of play that Mikowski tried to run that Reggie White knocked down. This time the Packers are very aware of where White is. Mikowski took his time, found his receiver. Nice step over the tackle by Andre Waters. A couple of extra yards for Ed West.
Ed West, who is one of the best blocking tight ends in football. His first catch of the day is numbers from a year ago. He's only had one season of 30 catches or more. That was in '88. But as I said, that was a big one. Got the Packers a first down. That's where they'll be when we come back. We're at the 2-minute warning at Lambeau Field. And a Keith Byers touchdown pass, a couple of Roger Ruzick field goals. That's where we are with 2 minutes to go in the half. 13-0 Philadelphia. Coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report. Greg and Terry will have all the scores, highlights, the latest information from around the league. And Tim Ryan's going to have an update from the U.S. Open Tennis Championships as well. So stick around. You'll get it all from the NFL Today halftime report coming up shortly here on CBS. 1st and 10 for the Packers. They have 90 yards total offense. That's more than Philadelphia, but thanks to turnovers, it's the Eagles with a lead. And Mikowski again threw right into the hands of somebody. This time it was Seth Joyner, the linebacker. Right now it looks like it would be better if Don was about 6'7" to get that ball delivered. I don't know if his arm's giving him trouble or not, but his statistics aren't very impressive so far. Well,
the thing about it is he's being victimized by just fine athletic plays. Seth Joyner flagged down about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that time.
2nd and 10. Packers with 2 timeouts remaining. Mikowski hangs in tough, goes across the middle, and Weathers got a hand on it, but that was all. Eric Allen there with Clarence Weathers. So it's 3rd and 10.
Checking his teeth there. Ball was thrown high, but the Eagles were in a full blitz that time, brought a couple of defensive backs. Mikowski delivered it a little bit high, but well, you got to make that catch to turn things around.
It's Mikowski's numbers on the day. He's got 3rd and 10 here. Packers 4 out of 7 on their 3rd down conversion so far. 4 wideouts from the shotgun from their own 49-yard line. Mikowski again over the middle, intended for Sterling Sharp, and incomplete, broken up by Wes Hopkins. There's actually a few boo birds out right now. Time to punt for Green Bay again.
Now watch the Eagles now try to put pressure on McJulian. They know that he's in his first NFL game. They may come with an all-out rush here, try to block this one.
McJulian's been trying for 5 years to make an NFL team and finally did this week. Rod Harris back for the Eagles. Julian hit high. And this one's going to turn out nicely for him. Jackie Harris gets down there and down to about the 2-yard line.
Well, that'll make a hero out of any punter here in Green Bay. They've had problems with the punters averaging over 40 yards the last couple of years. That's why they let go of Don Bracken.
I said to Paul McJulian yesterday, I said, 5 years you tried out with double figures on the teams you tried out for. I said, what are you doing the last 5 years? He said, all I did was work out. I said, no, what did you do? He said, I lived off my wife, Cindy. So he wanted to kind of dedicate the first few punts to her today, I think.
I think she'll like that one. That one's down at about the 4-yard line. That'll add to his gross, his net, his
the inside
self-esteem.
The 20, everything. Jim McMahon. And the Eagle offense from the 4-yard line. Packers think about a blitz. Nowhere to go for Thomas Sanders.
And the Packers are going to use their second timeout here. That's heads-up play by the Packer coaching staff. They have just one remaining, so they can stop the clock again and perhaps get the ball back to Mikowski.
Lindy and Fonte, who told us what we've got to do to win this game is have some big plays of our own, and we've got to eliminate the mistakes we had last year and all through the preseason, and everything he talked about is going wrong for him so far.
But again, you look at the score and you see that it's only 13-0. Only 13. That's a lot of points, but it is only 2 touchdowns, so it's only 2 big plays away.
Second down and a long 9 coming up for the Eagles, huddled in their own end zone. Rich Kotite, who said that he was an awful nervous person when Buddy Ryan was fired, called his wife and said, just hold everything, we might all be gone. And little did he know, a few hours later he'd be the head coach of the Eagles. So far he's off to a good start in a couple of quarters here, leading 13-0. Calvin Williams in motion. The give to Sanders, and Sanders goes down again at the line of scrimmage. Lester Archambault and Brian Noble make the stop. And the Packers are going to use their last time out. So now they've got to stop Philadelphia on 3rd down and 9 to force the punt.
And McMahon is going over to the sidelines to get that one play that will make a difference here. Quarterbacks always want to call their own plays, but not in this situation.
Right.
This is a nervous time, because if he throws a pass, he's going to have to retreat into his end zone. And when you're back there, a lot of things can happen, and a lot of them are bad.
Jim McMahon with a touchdown and an interception. Sterling Sharp, who hasn't been a factor yet today for the Green Bay offense. I don't know if he's cooling off or hiding right now.
It's certainly not hot enough to have a towel over your head.
Now here's the biggest 3rd down of the day for the Green Bay defense. Let's take a look from right here behind Jim McMahon. They keep it on the ground to Sanders. Out to the 11, but not a first down. Mark Murphy and Scott Stephen combine on the stop, and they do force the punt. And still, Fiegels is going to be kicking from his own end zone here.
And Mikowski will get the ball back under a minute with no timeouts, but in this type of offense, that's not as important. They have the ability to move the ball, although they haven't done it yet today.
The Packers have the return set up. They've got only a 6-man rush on Fiegels. It takes a Philadelphia bounce inside the 40-yard line. So a 48-yard kick with the roll, no return, as Visekahema just got out of the way. Don't forget, coming up at halftime on the NFL Today, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from elsewhere around the National Football League here on opening Sunday. And Tim Ryan will have a report from the U.S. Open for you, so stick around. We're 35 seconds away from intermission at Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
And so far for the Eagles, this game has been good news and bad news. Good news, they're leading 13-0. Bad news, 2 of their star players are in the locker room. Randall Cunningham with a stretched ligaments of his left knee, and Keith Jackson with the old heave-ho for fighting with Matt Brock, who's in the other locker room.
Green Bay needs about 30 yards just to give Chris Jackie a shot at a field goal. No timeouts and 35 seconds to play in the second quarter. Mikowski's going to throw deep for Sterling Sharp, and he overshot it by a couple of yards. Ben Smith pretty much there stride for stride. Those two have hooked up many times on that pass play, but that one a little bit too far in front of Sterling Sharp. Ben Smith, former #1 draft choice of the Eagles out of the University of Georgia.
Came into the league as a safety, and because of need and necessity, the Eagles moved him out to the corner where he performed very well last year.
Eagles really like their entire defense, and that secondary is just about as good as anybody's. Allen and Smith on the corners, and Waters and Hopkins as safeties. Right now they've got their nickel defense in there on 2nd and 10. Mikowski with 4 wide receivers, again from the shotgun. Mikowski this time in and out of the hands of Weathers, and again a drop ball, and that would have been a first down.
That not only went in and out of the hands of Weathers, that almost went through his chest.
You could hear his pads crack way up here, could you?
And those weren't his pads, those were his ribs. 3 drops so far in this first half for Mikowski. Again, it's bad luck and poor execution right now, as he overthrows Sharp the play before. This time he drills Weathers, and the ball bounces off his chest.
3rd and 10 now. Mikowski 6 out of 20. As we said, those stats would be a little better if his receivers had held on to a few. Here comes Golick. You got around him. Now sets and fires incomplete, intended for Perry Kemp. And he was almost over the line of scrimmage when he let that one go.
Well, he had a lot better results the last time he was almost over the line of scrimmage in that instant replay game against the Bears. But nothing going right so far for the Packers in this first half.
16 seconds left, and the Eagles will get it back. Rod Harris back inside the 20. Julian to punt. Harris from the 14. And out to the 22. Got about one play left in the first half. Roland Mitchell made the stop, a little bit shaken up on that special teams play. Now Jim McMahon will come down and just take a knee, I would assume, as the Eagles will be more than happy to take a 13-point lead to halftime. So one play remaining second quarter. Everybody will huddle around Jim McMahon. And Philadelphia's got a couple of field goals and one touchdown pass that was basically a gift on a tip ball that Keith Byers caught from Jim McMahon. That is going to do it. End of the first half with a score. The Eagles 13, the Green Bay Packers nothing. Decided win. Today it's fairly even, but you mix in those turnovers and drop passes and a couple of breaks that have gone the Eagles' way. Mix that with a big dose of Reggie White, and it's 13-0 as we start the third quarter. Thomas Sanders at the 8-yard line. And run out at the 22-yard line. We alluded to the fact that Randall Cunningham is not in the game. He was injured on the first play of the second quarter on a hit by Bryce Pop, the linebacker, on a blitz. Strained left knee ligaments for Randall Cunningham, done for the day. And so Jim McMahon is the man at the controls. He's done a pretty good job with this Eagles offense so far. This time he'll work from his own 23-yard line. The Eagles have won the battle of field position throughout the day. They've had the best spots on the field to start with. To throw on first down. Swings it out to Byers on a little screen, and Byers got about 9 out to the 32-yard line. Scott Stephen, the linebacker, made the hit.
You know, Byers at 6'1" and 240 pounds. Once he makes that grab, he uses those little choppy steps and just keeps rolling, and people have a real difficult time man on man trying to bring him down.
His fourth catch of the day. He got 9 yards and second down and 1 at the 32-yard line. Just underway, third quarter at Lambeau Field. Packer fans looking for something to cheer about. Byers, nice spin move, has the first down near the 38-yard line. Brian Noble made the tackle. Byers, of course, was a 1,000-yard plus rusher at Ohio State.
Well, watch these choppy steps after the spin move, Brad. Really heads up play, and a lot of people forget that Keith Byers is #2 all-time rusher in the history of Ohio State behind Archie Griffin.
Got a first down at the 38-yard line. Noble comes up, may come with a blitz. McMahon drops to throw, goes to Byers again. Noble with a first hit, but Byers got around that one and got out to the 40-yard line. Mark Murphy and Johnny Holland made the tackle.
Well, he liked that spin move on the play before. He's going to try it again. He gets a little help this time as Noble spins him back to the inside, but Noble has to make this tackle one-on-one. That's his man. That's his responsibility. And again, the strength of Byers gets upfield. A nice gain on first down when it looked like it should have been a loss.
Byers is going to win the little battle with Keith Jackson about who catches the most passes per game today, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And Jackson's probably watching this one in the locker room on TV.
Keith Jackson ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct in the first half. McMahon over the middle, and he overshot Thomas Sanders. Those two, of course, were teammates with the Chicago Bears. Jim McMahon's always done things a little bit differently, and I know you were giving him a little grief about his hairdo before the game.
Well, you know, this is the no fun league now. They don't let players celebrate or have fun out there, and McMahon is seems to be the guy they make all these rules for, but he's not going to let it get to him. You see the ponytail there. He's not the only guy on that football team that has one either. My old teammate Dennis McKnight, backup offensive guard and center, he's got a nice little tail as well.
3rd down and 7. McMahon from the shotgun. Goes for Byers, and he's got another one. Byers all the way to the 34-yard line, pickup of 24. And Keith Byers with his 6th catch of the day.
And probably the biggest injustice was done to him last year when he was not selected to the Pro Bowl after his fantastic year with 81 receptions. This is a beautiful throw by McMahon as he just lays it over the first defensive back, drops it into Byers. And you see that big body of Byers shielding off the defensive back, reaching out with his nice, big, fat hands, soft hands, making that grab.
You asked him yesterday, did it bother you didn't make the Pro Bowl? And he looked at it and said, yeah, you know, it really did. He's having a Pro Bowl type day so far with 6 catches. First down at the 34 under a blitz. McMahon almost picked off by Jerry Holmes. That is the break the Packer defense was looking for, and Holmes couldn't hold on. Calvin Williams, the intended receiver.
Well, as Williams makes his cut, he's going to lose his footing here, and this almost cost him and McMahon the interception. Jerry Holmes had both hands on it, and again, a Packer not coming up with a big play.
I don't think an Eagle wide receiver has caught a pass so far today. Schuler, the tight end, Jackson, the tight end, and Byers, they've done most of the work. 2nd and 10, blitz coming on McMahon, and he got it across the middle to Byers again. And he's close to a first down at the 25-yard line. Scott Stephen made the tackle, but Byers got 9 more.
That's our man Sterling Sharp taking it easy on the sidelines. Got a hat on. He's got the towel over the hat, and he's got somebody that's imitating him as well.
A pickup of 9 for Keith Byers, his 7th catch. He's over 100 yards receiving now.
Well, Byers has to pick up the slack with Jackson in the locker room.
Eagles loaded up with the extra tight ends on 3rd down and a short yard. And this is going to be close, and flags are down as well.
Well, you'd expect it to be holding, thrown by the umpire, Bob Wagner.
Pat Haggerty's going to straighten it out in just a second here, and the Packers, I think, are going to take the penalty to try to take the Eagles out of field goal range. We just got a terrible report, sorry to say, from the Eagles locker room. The report we have on Randall Cunningham, the Eagles starting quarterback, 2 torn ligaments in his left knee. He will have surgery tomorrow, and the preliminary report is that he is lost for the season.
Talk about pressure on a young coach, a new coach, Richie Kotite. If he has that news at his disposal, that will make him very upset, and perhaps that nickname Richie Uptight will stick for a while. That's really bad news for him and Cunningham and all Eagle fans and all football fans.
The entire league's going to suffer without having number 12 back there for the Eagles. McMahon deep on 3rd down, and it is intercepted by Leroy Butler in the end zone. Second time McMahon's been intercepted, and the Packers will take over.
Well, McMahon got away with it earlier in the game, but watch 3 Packers converge on this one. Beautiful catch by Butler. That ball was almost knocked away by his own man.
So the Packers will have it on offense when we come back. Fouts at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the Eagles lead the Packers 13-0 with 10:36 to go. Here's what happened on the first play of the second quarter with Randall Cunningham at quarterback for the Eagles.
You see number 95 here from the left side of the screen. Bryce Pop, a little bit low. A clean hit, though, and there goes a couple of ligaments, and they say that he'll have surgery tomorrow and that he'll probably be out for the year. Well, it'll be a miracle if he's not.
The report from the Eagles locker room, 2 torn ligaments in that left knee that Cunningham is holding there, and that he will be lost for the year in all probability. And that is sad news for Eagles fans, and we wish Randall Cunningham the best. Now back to the action here with 10:36 to go, third quarter. Here's Leroy Butler's interception. They were going to spot this at the 3-yard line, and Dan, his momentum takes him in the end zone, doesn't it?
Well, clearly when he hits the ground, he is in the end zone. They were thinking that perhaps his foot touched down at the 3-yard line with the interception, but that's a good use of the instant replay to make sure that the spot is correct, and I believe that's a right call. That's a real big break for the Packers, moving it out to the 20.
And they're 2 for 2 on their reversals today. We've had a couple of them here at Lambeau Field. So the Packers work from their own 20. Don Bukowski, who has struggled a bit today, and his receivers haven't helped the cause. Deep left side, and Woodside broke his pattern off. Bukowski changed things up at the line, and maybe somebody didn't get the call. Dallas and Cleveland have a good one going, and Kansas City has put a touchdown up to take the lead on Atlanta now. There's the closest game of the day so far. New Orleans, Seattle. 13-0 here. Philadelphia in front. Don Bukowski has missed his last 7 passes as we look at number 7. Line it up. 2nd and 10. That one tipped. There's been more tip balls out here than I've seen in a long time. Byron Evans got a hand on that one.
Well, let's check out Tony Mandrich and Reggie White here. Bukowski, number 77 from the left side is Mandrich. And he gets into Reggie pretty good this time. He's real strong. He's got tattoos on both arms. You better be strong. You're going to wear those tattoos. Reggie has put a few on him. See this barbed wire here? That's new this year. Mandrich told us yesterday that tattoos are kind of like potato chips. You just can't have just one.
He says a lady in Ann Arbor, Michigan has done all of them for him. I said, why the barbed wire? He says, just because. Likes barbed wire, I guess. 3rd and 10. Sterling Sharp incomplete. That one a little too far in front of Sharp, and Bukowski is 6 for 24.
Well, the Eagle defense is playing a perfect game so far. They're frustrating Bukowski. Watch 48, Wes Hopkins, come on the safety blitz. Nobody there to pick him up. Bukowski has to unload it early, and then he has to absorb that punishment.
Boy, he's been tagged a few times today.
But give Bud Carson a real tip of the hat for the job this Eagle defense has done so far.
Paul McJulian can air one out here from his own 10-yard line. And it is not the greatest punt. Harris takes it at the 40. And slips on his own, goes down at the 46-yard line. So again, the Eagles will have tremendous field position when we come back. 10:15 to go, third quarter. Eagles by 13. Philadelphia Eagles leading the Green Bay Packers 13-0, and as has been the case all day, great field position again. They'll start from their own 47-yard line. And the Packers defense came up with an interception on the last series, and maybe their defense is going to have to do it today. So far their offense has not gotten the job done. Jim McMahon, who may be the Eagle quarterback the rest of the year. Packers think about a blitz on a handoff to Byers, and nowhere to hide. Byers will lose yardage. Brian Noble and Johnny Holland in on the hit. Johnny Holland out of Texas A&M. He's had over 100 tackles the last 3 years. They call him Mr. Anywhere because he gets around the football. Did there. And it'll be 2nd and 11.
46, 2nd and 11.
Keith Myers with 7 receptions today, but he lost yardage on that one. 2nd and 11. Eagles just inside their own 46-yard line. Calvin Williams in motion. McMahon wanted to go that way, and now he's in trouble, and down he goes. Esera Tuaolo.
Well, he got his 2. He was expecting that it would be Randall Cunningham, but he got Cunningham on the in the first quarter, and now he gets McMahon. That's 4 sacks now for the Packers, who only had 27 all of last year.
Bob Nelson, who's been the nose tackle for the Packers for years and years, was cut by the team because Green Bay thought as much of number 98 as he's shown today with 2 sacks.
Talked to him earlier in the week, and he was just his favorite word was awesome. Here he is playing for the Packers. That was awesome. He's playing against all these big names. That was awesome. And if he could just get a couple of sacks, that would really be awesome.
McMahon to throw on 3rd and long. To Byers again. Trying to get to the first down sticks. He won't get there. But he did get his 8th catch of the afternoon. Vinnie Clark made the first hit, the Packers' #1 draft choice, and then he got help from his friends.
I don't know if they have any alumni games at Ohio State, but that was the old Ohio State Buckeye Byers running over the youngster, Vinnie Clark.
Fiegels to punt, and the Packer fans have something to cheer about, and that the Green Bay defense is held by Sikahema back at his own 10-yard line. Fiegels hit this one a mile in the air. Just got to the end zone. A 47-yard kick, but a touchback, and the Packers will work from their own 20 when we come back. And the action is heating up at the U.S. Open. 4th round play today. In the women's 4th round action, Capriati a winner, the 7th seed. Steek a winner as well in the men's division. So you'll see Jimmy Connors tomorrow, don't forget, against Aaron Crickstein. That's our feature match on CBS Sports on Labor Day. The Packers haven't had a first down since early in the 2nd quarter. They've got one now. Jackie Harris to the 37-yard line.
Well, that's the highlight of the offense so far for the Packers, but this is what this passing offense, this pass to daylight, as Lindy likes to call it, is all about. Hot receivers. That time Harris saw the man who was going to guard him, blitz the passer. He turned around. Mikowski saw the same thing. Big first down pickup.
First time he's thrown in Jackie Harris' direction. In fact, his 2 tight ends are the guys that have held on to the ball today. Ed West had one earlier. 1st and 10 Green Bay at its own 37-yard line, trailing 13-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Mikowski had it swatted up in the air again. Byron Evans, the linebacker, for about the 3rd time today, gets his hands in the way.
Now, the last time out, Brad, the guy that's in charge of the music here in Green Bay finally got the right type of music played. They'd been playing this rap music and country music and hard rock. Well, they played a polka, and that got the fans so fired up they're doing a wave. The fans were ready for opening day.
You're supposed to do the wave when your team's on defense, though, right?
Well, the way they're playing, it looks like they're on defense.
Can't wait all day. 2nd and 10. Darrell Thompson, the single setback for Green Bay. As Mikowski drops to throw, blitz coming, Mikowski deep for Sharp. And about a yard too far in front of Sterling Sharp. Eric Allen was covering. Penalty marker down. We may have a holding call in the Green Bay backfield as well. Now, when you've got Clyde Simmons and Reggie White and Mike Pitts and company coming after you, Jerome Brown too.
Holding. Offense. Number 57. Still 2nd down.
Rich Moran, the left guard. Here comes some of the heat on Mikowski.
Well, this is why the ball is just overthrown. Watch, Mikowski cannot step up from the left side of the screen because of all these white shirts in his face. There's the throw, and now the ball will just carry a little bit too long, as Sharp gets behind Allen, but Allen's dogging him. That ball's just a yard too far.
So it's 2nd down and 20 with the penalty back at the 27-yard line. Murkowski will work from the shotgun. The 4 wide receiver group. And in trouble's Murkowski, and Jerome Brown's got him wrapped up this time. And now it'll be way back near the 20-yard line.
Well, Jerome Brown only got 1 sack all of last year. Here he is, number 99, on the outside rather, working right up the middle against James Campen. Good twist there in the middle with Golick, great teamwork. Hallstrom just can't handle big Jerome with those fresh legs, only practiced once last week. And he's equaled his total of all last year when he went all the way to Hawaii on just 1 sack.
He's got 1, and Reggie White has 2 for the Eagles today. A loss of 7, and now it's 3rd and 27. See what Lindy and Fonte's pass to daylight offense has for 3rd and 27. Murkowski, the quick slant to Jeff Query. And boy, had he broken that last tackle, he had a lot of green in front, but Andre Waters wouldn't let him get away. And now Murkowski's slow to get up.
Well, he's been beat up all day. The Eagles had great pressure on him. And he's fortunate that this is 4th down, or he might have had to come out of the game anyway.
I tell you what, we might have 2 Bears playing quarterback here pretty soon. Jim McMahon has come in for the injured Randall Cunningham, and now Don Murkowski heads to the sidelines. And boy, you know they're concerned. Julian to punt. Nice kick. Rod Harris from the 18-yard line. And a great open field tackle by Jackie Harris on the special team. 54-yard kick. And nice coverage by Green Bay. And Murkowski still in pain on the Green Bay sideline, but it seems like the trainers and everybody kind of spread away, which would indicate that he's all right.
You know, that oxygen knocked out of him.
Mike Tomczak just came over and put a cup of water down in front of him.
Well, Tomczak's our emergency quarterback today. Blair Keel was activated, and he is the 2nd team guy. Now, Lindy says he's going to alternate him each week.
Jim McMahon and the Eagles from their own 20-yard line. McMahon changes things up. Flags are down. He throws complete. And a 1st down out to the 32-yard line for Calvin Williams. But again, a penalty marker down. Motion against the Eagles, so that negates a 14-yard pass play.
Well, if the Packers are going to get back in this game and have any chance of winning, their defense is going to have to do it for them.
Illegal motion. Number 86. Offense. Still 1st down.
The crowds have cheered today for 2 things: an interception in the end zone and a long 54-yard punt by McJulian.
It's not much to cheer about. There's the Packers' number 2 quarterback on the day, who Dan just talked about, Blair Keel, who is warming up. Murkowski is on the sideline, having been shaken up the last time Green Bay had it. Green Bay defense asking for some noise on 1st and 15, Philadelphia. A little quick opener on the draw to Sanders. And this Packer defense has really done a fine job today. Brian Noble made the tackle. Robert Brown helped out.
And it would have been very understandable for the Packer defense to let down after Cunningham was knocked out of the game with the knee, but they have kept their intensity up, and they are playing a heck of a ball game here. They know they're only 2 touchdowns out of the lead.
Noble made the All-Madden team last year. He's showing why here today. 5:10 to go 3rd quarter. Philadelphia by 13. McMahon under a blitz, got rid of it. And Sanders takes a head-on collision at the 15-yard line, and it is Brian Noble. Would you believe 2 days ago Brian Noble was fishing with his 2 daughters out on the lake where he lives? He doesn't look like a guy that would go fishing with anybody.
I know one thing, Thomas Sanders ain't going to go fishing with him. Talk about tough. He had a medial collateral ligament tear earlier this year, and he didn't even have surgery. He's rehabilitated himself, and he's back in the lineup.
3rd and 14. McMahon to Schuler, but he's short of the first down. And McMahon has to scrape himself up again. And the Eagles will punt.
That's a big defensive series for the Packers.
Jeff Fiegels set to punt for Philadelphia. There's what he's done on the day. The wind picks up here at Lambeau Field, and Vi Sikahema is going to have a chance at this one from the 34. Sikahema across midfield. He could take it. A groin pull over the course of the last couple of weeks. We talked to him before the game. You see him holding his leg there, but 61 yards later, it's 1st and goal.
Wow, this is the shot in the arm the Packers need. Outstanding individual effort by Sikahema. The wall is there, but he had to break about 3 tackles, and now he's running on a gimpy leg. Didn't know if he could even play until about an hour before the game. He sets the Packers offense up inside the 5.
62 yards. He may be done for the day. You never know.
He's hurting, that's for sure, but he's happy. Hurting and happy.
An all-pro player with the Cardinals as a return man. In fact, went to the Pro Bowl as a rookie. We've got a timeout with 3:25 to go 3rd quarter, but Green Bay threatening. Thanks to a 62-yard Vi Sikahema punt return, Green Bay, with its deepest penetration into Philadelphia territory, has it 1st and goal at the Eagles' 4-yard line.
Packers were so excited, jumping up and down, congratulating themselves for finally making a big play. They used so much time that Mikowski was forced to call a timeout there.
Now let's see if the Packers offense can make it pay off. And Workman in the high backfield. Play fake. Mikowski goes to the end zone and just overshot his intended receiver, who happened to be Ron Hallstrom.
Well, Hallstrom is the tight end on the right side of the screen here. This is a well-designed play and smart and everything, but this is just something that Hallstrom can't do, is lift his arms over his shoulders. Not many of those linemen can do that and make the grab. Mikowski wanted that one back because he did have his big old offensive guard open in the end zone.
The Packers never seem to run for a touchdown in this situation, but they got a couple of tight ends in there. And here's the play fake and the option. Mikowski got it out to Harris, and he got a yard. That's all.
You get the feeling watching the Packer offense work down in this end of the field, they're almost like a run-and-shoot team that has no running game in this area of the field. The triple option play here, and really it's not. This is a pitch all the way. There's no way that Infani wants Mikowski carrying the ball. The Eagles with another fine defensive play.
Mikowski told you yesterday, he said, man, I'm getting rid of that ball. Harris got 1 to the 3. It is 3rd and goal, Green Bay. And they bring in the wide receivers. The tight ends are out of there. Mikowski from the shotgun on 3rd and goal, the biggest opportunity of the day for the Green Bay Packers offense. And it's swatted down again, this time Jerome Brown.
I don't think I've ever seen a game with so many deflections at the line of scrimmage by a defensive football team as the Eagles are putting on Mikowski this afternoon. That has to be 6 or 7 just fine athletic plays. Watch Brown, number 99 here, read the quarterback, not putting pressure on him, just kind of hanging around. swats it with his right hand.
You know, you're right. I can count Seth Joyner with 3. Brown's got 1. Reggie White's got at least 2. There's 6 right there. Chris Jackie will attempt a 21-yard field goal to try to finally get Green Bay on the scoreboard, and he puts it through. So the Packers were hoping touchdown after the long punt return. They're forced to settle for a 21-yard field goal, and now they trail by 10.
Well, you have to wonder about the play selection. Here they take over on the 4-yard line. Their first play is a play-action pass to an offensive lineman who's playing tight end, ball thrown a little bit high. Then the second play, they go with the triple option play to the another tight end. This time it's Jackie Harris. And then on the third play, from about the 3-yard line, he's back in a shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers in the game. Not much of a goal line offense for Lindy Infante.
It would indicate that Lindy is not convinced that his running game is going to get it done. And Darrell Thompson had 1 run of 11 yards earlier today, and I don't think there's been a Packer rush for more than 4 since.
And part of that, you got to give credit to the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. They have played an outstanding game, led by the guys up front.
Kansas City, another touchdown in front of Atlanta. The Jets leading Tampa Bay by 7. Here it's 13-3 now as Chris Jackie hit the 21-yard field goal. And he will kick it away. Rod Harris and Thomas Sanders back for the Eagles. This kick will go to Thomas Sanders in the end zone, and he won't bring it out. So Chris Jackie does his job to force the touchback, and the Eagles will work from their own 20-yard line. Don't forget, when we're done here at Lambeau Field, many of you will be seeing the Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field, or Phoenix and the Rams. Those are the other games coming up next on CBS Sports. And you know that the Vikings and the Bears are paying close attention to what's going on in this football game today. Jim McMahon, if you're just joining us, Randall Cunningham was hurt on the first play of the second quarter of this football game, is more than likely lost for the season with 2 torn ligaments in his left knee. So McMahon has been the guy who's gone the distance for the Eagles at quarterback since that time, and he's 12 out of 19 on the day. Thomas Sanders. Sanders took a lick from Murphy and Holland, but he still got about 7 yards. Green Bay defense popping some pads out there today, but their offense just not helping them at this point.
Their offense has been non-existent. Good pressure on Mikowski has forced him off his game, and of course we talked about the lack of a running game.
Second down and a short 2 for Philadelphia. Tony Bennett thinking about a blitz for Green Bay. On the ground, Sanders stopped short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. Let's get to New York on the Kansas City-Atlanta game. Let's go to Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Brad, at Kansas City, the Chiefs doing it on the ground and through the air. Steve DeBerg, 6-yard bullet to Emil Harry, makes it 14-3. Christian Okoye has added 135 yards and a touchdown rushing. The Falcons can't win on the road, Brad.
All right, Greg, doesn't look like the red gun offense of the Falcons is doing much better than Green Bay's offense. The pass to daylight offense here trails by 10 with 1:20 as you see remaining 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 1. Byers in motion, the give to Sanders, and he's got the first down. Needed 1, he got about 4. Chuck Cecil made the tackle.
Well, the key block on this play, Brad, is by Keith Byers, showing that he can do it as a support guy as well. Here's number 41. Watch as Sanders sets up this block. The kick out right there. Sanders goes right inside Byers and the other tight end, Mickey Schuler, and outside of the number 1 pick, Antone Davis. That's where the Eagles are going to be a lot stronger this year, is running the ball behind that big right tackle.
If you can see around him, that's the trouble with the backs. First down, Philadelphia at its own 34. Here comes the blitz on McMahon to throw. Just got rid of it. Mickey Schuler has another one across the middle, down to the 46-yard line. 21-yard pickup, and Mickey Schuler's got his 3rd catch of the day.
I talked to Schuler earlier in the week and asked him the difference between Kotite now as a head coach and Kotite as an assistant coach, as he was with Schuler a couple of years ago. Now, McMahon does a super job of finding his tight end, and he's had a lot of success going to Schuler, but Schuler felt that the biggest difference is that Richie is a little bit more relaxed and not as uptight as the media has made him out to be.
He's got another quarter before he can relax for sure at the end of 3. It's 13-3 Eagles. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This
Living in Green Bay territory.
They haven't had far to go. They've been in Eagle territory or Packer territory 8 of the 11 times.
Still only 13 points to show for it. Play fake. McMahon deep for Schuler, and he almost had another one, and Chuck Cecil let him know he was in the vicinity. Mickey Schuler with 3 catches for 54 yards, and he almost had another big one.
Yeah, he almost had a big headache, too. Play action pass. McMahon fakes it to Sanders, steps up in the pocket, lets it go a little bit early, and would like to have thrown it with a little bit more air underneath it. Cecil came over and delivered the big blow.
There's the total offense, and Green Bay has had virtually no offense. 1 first down. They had Jackie Harris, the tight end, on a pass completion from Bukowski the last time they had the ball. That is about it this half. McMahon on 2nd and 10 wants to throw a screen, I think, but now he's running for his life. He's got Schuler open, and it's another first down for the Eagles. Fourth catch of the day for Mickey Schuler.
We talked about old Jimmy Connors. Well, this is old Jim McMahon running for his life, throwing to old Mickey Schuler. Good job of McMahon realizing he had no screen, and then a fine job. Look at Schuler at bottom of the screen, work his way open in the secondary, make the grab, and it's a big first down for Philadelphia.
Of course, Mickey Schuler has known how to catch passes. He caught 76, in fact, back in 1985, and 7 touchdowns for the Jets. There's his numbers on the day. 1st and 10, the Eagles at the Green Bay 34. McMahon going to keep it, and got a couple. Johnny Holland brought him down. I don't know if that play was by design or not, but with one quarterback already injured, I wouldn't think they're going to be running the quarterback too often.
You wouldn't think so. It appears that McMahon has let his hair go a little bit there in the back. This first half, he had a nice ponytail starting to spread out on him a little bit.
And the reason you're seeing the hair and the Jim McMahon at quarterback is that Randall Cunningham was injured the first play of the 2nd quarter. And the report we have is 2 torn knee ligaments, left knee, surgery tomorrow. And McMahon's been very effective throughout since taking over for Cunningham, who's probably gone for the season. Here's a draw play inside. Sanders back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. Robert Brown, the veteran defensive end, in on the hit.
It's real important for the Packers now on defense to start digging for that ball. They've got to create some type of turnover, and they may even have to cause the turnover, pick it up, and run it on in, because their offense sure isn't capable of doing it today. Well, got enough signals there. You think they'd be a little tough to figure out what they're doing.
3rd down at 7 for the Eagles. And they'll work from the shotgun. McMahon with his 4 wide receivers in there. Has time across the middle, and I think short of the first down. It's going to depend on the spot here.
It always does. And the official comes in with both feet real close together.
Kenny Jackson caught the pass.
This is Fred Barnett on the outside. He gets behind Vinnie Clark, and he is wide open. McMahon doesn't see him, and boy, that's one upset young man there.
I thought the spot may have put the Eagles about a foot short, but let's wait and see. They're going to bring out the chain gang.
The only thing you can tell that young receiver is, hey, buddy, I can't see all of them. I got 11 guys coming at me.
That's how much short it is. matter of inches, and a 4th down situation for the Eagles, and they'll bring in an extra lineman, an extra tight end, and we'll go for it on 4th down.
And they're going to bring the gopher in, Heath Sherman, guy that likes to run real low, but watch for Byers to get this one. At 240 pounds, we've seen how difficult it is to stop.
Ron Heller is the extra lineman that's checked in. The Eagles, one of the best teams in the business on 4th down a year ago. They were good 75% of the time. And the Packer fans will let you know if they get this 4th down in an inch. McMahon with a quarterback sneak for the 2nd time today appears to have it. So Rich Kotite's Eagles will keep their drive alive with 11:35 and the clock running out on the Green Bay Packers.
As far as dangerous plays, the quarterback sneak is one of the safest ones. But then you think about what happened to Tim Rosenbaugh in practice for the Phoenix Cardinals last week, when on a quarterback sneak in practice, he injured his knee and he's out for the year.
Very quiet right now at Lambeau Field with the hometown Packers trailing by 10 and just over 11 minutes to play in this one. The Eagles now at the Green Bay 23. Sanders down near the 20. And the Eagles will just be happy to use clock now. Sean Patterson made the tackle.
Well, what they're doing is what they did last year to the Packers. They're just beating them with that old sledgehammer, physically dominating them on the offensive line of scrimmage. You look at that rushing stat there where Sanders has outgained the entire Packer offense.
He's probably got more carries today than he would have in about 4 years in Chicago, huh? Behind Walter Payton and then Neil Anderson. On 2nd down, McMahon tosses it out to Sanders with a convoy in front. And the ball came loose at the end of that one, and the Packers have covered it. Scott Stephen with a fumble recovery to go with his interception today.
Well, if the Packers had any chance of winning this game, it's right now. Their defense creates the turnover again. Sanders has a nice gain here, but he gets popped by about 3 Packers. There's a finishing lick right there by Tony Bennett. The ball comes loose, and Stephen just inside there to get the recovery. But the bad news for the Packer offense is they're going to start off inside their own 10.
So what else is new, right?
It's been that way all day. It's been an uphill battle.
Well,
and when you're down there, Brad, it really appears that it's uphill when you're on offense, because sometimes these natural fields are crowned that way to where when you're in the end zone, that's where all the water drains, and you're fighting that uphill battle.
You only see the top half of the other end zone, right? Of the goalposts.
Well, you might.
Oh, thanks. Well, the Packers have spent plenty of time huddling in their own end zone today, that's for sure. Now they work from their own 9-yard line. The Eagles had the ball for over 7.5 minutes before fumbling. Mikowski steps up. Incomplete. That one a little bit low, intended for Woodside. And again, there was pressure on Mikowski as you saw him pick himself up from his own goal line. Reggie White coming like a steam engine again.
When you play the Eagles, you're not going to get 3 seconds to throw the ball. That's probably the ideal amount of time. Of course, as a quarterback, you'd like 4 or 5 seconds, but they get after you right away, and if your first guy isn't there, very difficult to find the second guy.
2nd and 10 for the Packers, trailing 13-3. A man open, Sterling Sharp. First down, out to the 26-yard line. 17-yard pickup.
Well, this is what the Packers have to do. Sterling Sharp, number 84 on the inside here. He's got to make some plays for the Pack. Because of his running ability after the catch, he always seems to make that first tackler miss him, very much like Keith Byers. And when you talk about wide receivers in the league, I asked him, who is his idol? He says it's Anthony Carter because of that fact. He likes the way Anthony Carter handles himself after the catch.
I think that might be a compliment, a big one to AC with the Vikings too.
You bet.
Sharp has Picked up the first down for the Packers, and Mikowski with time goes deep, and Perry Kemp at the 47-yard line. And all of a sudden, there's just a hint of magic in the air.
Well, you give him time to throw. Beautiful pocket this time. He can step up and really push off that back leg. That's his best pass of the afternoon.
To the Eagles' 46-yard line. 28-yard pickup. Mikowski to Perry Kemp. You see the clock there, under 9 minutes to go. The Packers, though, only trailing by 10. Woodside splits out as a wide receiver. Mikowski, and penalty markers down. Let's see if we have a holding call on Green Bay again.
I think that's a good call, Brad. Again, thrown by the umpire.
Yeah, boy, nothing kills you more than to have a 17-yard and then a 28-yard pass play and then go 10 yards in the other direction.
Well, what happens when you play against the Eagles, they're so good with just 4 guys rushing the passer.
Holding. 57 offense. Still first down.
And all those stars up front putting pressure on the quarterback, not giving him enough time, and then forcing the offensive lineman to reach out and grab sometimes.
That's the second holding call against Rich Moran today. There's Don Mikowski, who's really struggled to put up that 136 yards. Back to the 44-yard line goes the Green Bay offense, and now Mikowski will work from the spread. And here comes a blitz. He got rid of it. Incomplete, and the fans want an interference call on Eric Allen, and they don't get it.
Well, watch Mikowski. He sees Isaiah Jenkins, 46, coming on the blitz. He knows he has nobody to block Jenkins. He has to get rid of the ball early and can't make the connection with Sharp.
So it's second down and 20, Green Bay.
But we're seeing Bud Carson work that defense now. Sometimes zone, sometimes man-to-man, sometimes blitz.
Rich Kotite told you yesterday, he said Bud will change it up more on defense than what we've had in the past. And we're seeing the results of that today. From the shotgun, Mikowski fires in and out of the hands of Perry Kemp, and that was a catchable ball, it appeared, although he did take a shot from Ben Smith.
Well, at the top of the screen is Kemp and Smith battling. You can just barely see their legs, but watch Kemp come back inside, and the ball is already on the way. That ball has to be caught.
Now, as a quarterback over the years, I know Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow, those guys didn't drop a lot, but what do you tell? Do you say something to your receivers when there's this many drops?
Well, they know they dropped the ball. The best thing you can say to them is, hey, pal, I'll throw it a little bit better. You try a little bit harder to make the grab. Got to reinforce them.
Third down and 20. Here comes the heat on Mikowski, and he's airing it long, and a broken pattern as he threw one way and Perry Kemp went the other. And there's the results in the face of Don Mikowski.
Well, there's no rabbit in the hat today, is there? The Magic Man's struggling through his worst afternoon in a long, long time.
You might have to go back to the University of Virginia to find numbers like Mikowski's putting on the board today, but again, not all of it his fault. Paul McJulian to punt. Lays it up. Rod Harris will take it at the 22. And nice coverage by the Packers special teams. With 8:07 to go in the ball game, the Eagles still lead by 10. Knee injury that we understand is torn ligaments and surgery set for tomorrow. One touchdown in this game. Keith Byers, a 32-yard reception from Jim McMahon. Turnovers are even. A couple of guys have been tossed, Keith Jackson and Matt Brock. But you add 2 Roger Ruzick field goals and 1 field goal for Green Bay, and that's where we are at 13-3. Curly Lambeau, I wonder what he would be thinking about the Packer offense right here today. It has really struggled.
They've had a battle uphill all day against field position and a couple of bad bounces of the ball, and then a lot of drop passes.
As you said before, it may be indeed up to the Green Bay defense. Here they are out on the field again as they got a fumble recovery last trip. They need to make something happen, preferably in Eagle territory, because field position has been awful for the Packers as well today. Jim McMahon and the Eagles 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Byers in motion. Sanders follows Byers' block, but Scott Stevens had a good day at linebacker. Is there to make the tackle.
Well, McMahon's thinking one thing right now is take as much time off the clock. He's told his running backs and his receivers to stay in bounds. Biggest problem that faces McMahon and the Eagles right now is that clock. We're about 7:45 to go in the 4th. They got a nice 10-point lead. Just take care of that ball. Don't turn it over.
2nd down and 8, just inside the 30. Sanders got a couple. Packers move around on the defensive front and come with a blitz, and flags are down. Mickey Schuler may have come out of his stance or jumped a little bit early. Let's wait and see. Pat Haggerty's our referee today.
Ball start. Prior to the snap. Ready, 5. Offense.
There's the first final of the '91 season. The Jets over the Buccaneers by 3. We'll see Tampa Bay next week against the Chicago Bears. Dan and I will be down at Tampa. The Eagles have controlled the clock, and they control the scoreboard by 10. 2nd and 13 here. McMahon going deep, and there's got it. Fred Barnett will score. 75-yard touchdown pass.
The last time we saw Fred Barnett, he was real mad. You don't think he went back to McMahon and said, hey, I can beat this guy deep? And that's exactly what happened. Jerry Holmes, number 44's got the coverage, but Barnett with great speed on the outside, and this is a perfect throw by McMahon. There's the catch, and now a new record for high stepping as he goes about 30 yards like a drum major.
In December, he wouldn't do that on this field, or he'd end up on his rear end on that high stepping, but he takes it 75 yards for the score, and now the Eagles totally in command with a 20-3 lead with just 6:51 remaining in this one. Jim McMahon in relief of the injured Randall Cunningham, and he couldn't have put this one out there any better for Barnett.
New Sure Pro Stick deodorant for men. The Pro works overtime every time. And by Wrangler, comfortable jeans for men.
Fred Barnett, who had the longest touchdown reception of the year last season, a 95-yarder from Randall Cunningham, has a 75-yarder here today, and it is 20-3 Eagles with 6:51 to play in the ball game. Scoring drive didn't take long. One run, and then McMahon airs it out. 71 yards, 2 plays, 116.
So much for taking time off the clock.
That's right.
McMahon's going to say, well, let's put some points on the board.
McMahon again has played almost 3/4 of this football game due to the injury to Randall Cunningham, and he will be the quarterback of record for a good chunk of the Philadelphia Eagles season now, as Cunningham apparently will be lost for the year with an upcoming surgery tomorrow. And now the Packers need a whole bunch of offense in a hurry, and they've been unable to show that to us so far today. Ruzek will kick, and Charles Wilson will await at the 6. And Wilson got it out near the 28-yard line. And now the Packers apparently will go to 0-1. Tampa Bay's already lost, so Minnesota or Chicago will take the early lead in the NFC Central. That's the big battle at Soldier Field that many of you will see coming up next. Vern Lundquist and John Madden there. Phoenix and the Rams will square off too. We'll see how Tom Tupa can do against a revamped Ram defense. That's all coming up next. Our doubleheader here on CBS. So now the Packers are going to, for the most part, have to go with their 4 wide receiver offense and their shotgun set. With 6:42 remaining in the ball game. And they're going to blitz Mikowski as well. And he finds Sterling Sharp. And this time he won't get around the first man. Nice open field tackle by Otis Smith. Another final, Dallas over Cleveland. 2 more finals, in fact. Kansas City, a winner over the Atlanta Falcons. Packers line it up without a huddle.
They got no choice.
Second down and a long 2. And the pass goes out, and it's Sterling Sharp again. That's his 5th catch of the day. And he has a first down out near the 47-yard line. Wisely got out of bounds, stopping the clock. Sterling's got a whole bunch of stuff happening there with the chin straps on the back of the helmet. I don't know what they're connected to exactly.
Well, they're up the old shoulder pads. When he dips his head forward, it brings the shoulder pads up, and it doesn't expose as much neck there. He obviously has had problems getting bruised there, and hopefully that will correct it.
Came out with a chair attached to his helmet for picture day yesterday. Mikowski, and again it's Sterling Sharp, and at the 41-yard line, the Packers have another first down. Eric Allen was covering, 13-yard pickup. Now he's reaching back there to restrap. Clock winding down as he didn't get out of bounds. 5.5 minutes to play.
Well, the Eagles are going to give the Packers all these completions in front of them all the way down the field because this eats up a lot of time.
And remember, the Packers used a timeout earlier in this half, and Eric Allen's got an interception. Maybe Don Mikowski went to Sterling Sharp just one time too many.
Well, and the turf gave way on Sharp, and that allowed for Allen to get the interception. Watch at the end of this play. Sharp's going to go down and cut to the inside against Allen. There's the slip, there's the ball, there's the interception, and the reaction from Don Mikowski, as this is his 3rd interception pass of the day.
You're absolutely right. That ball delivered where Sterling Sharp would have been. But that's the way it's bounced for the Green Bay Packers today with those 4 turnovers. And the Eagles leading 20-3. So Jim McMahon with a couple of touchdown passes today for the injured Randall Cunningham, and his Eagles are in command. Just over 5 minutes to go in the ball game, and the Eagles have everything going their way. They lead the Green Bay Packers by a score of 20-3. A very quiet Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, with 5 minutes 6 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Eagles with a 17-point cushion. With over 5 minutes to play, but obviously happy with what's going on the field, dejected by losing their star quarterback who tried to express his feelings to us moments ago in the Eagle locker room.
Well, I mean, I'm upset because I'm injured, but the team, we've got a great football team, and I think that this year they're going to go out and they're going to get the job done, you know, regardless if I'm here or not.
Does this injury put you out for the season?
Who knows, you know. I think that I've put a lot of time in, and I've been blessed not to be injured to this point, and I'm sure the God's going to continue to bless me to heal the injury, and I'll be all right. I hope I'm not out for the season, but, you know, sometimes that happens.
Mark?
Randall Cunningham, Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, who was injured on the first play of the second quarter here today.
Hopes not. As far as how he feels.
And of course, Jim McMahon has taken his spot and done well so far this afternoon. His thoughts on his backup, Jim McMahon, taking the controls for the Eagles.
Jim? Oh, yeah, to Jim McMahon, I know he's a quality quarterback, and I know he's going to do a great job. You know, I'm behind him 100%, just like when Jaworski lost his spot. They put me in. He told me he was behind me 100%. I'm behind Jim, 100%. I think he's going to lead our team to a great year.
Boy, right now, psychologically, the injury to Cunningham is as painful as it is physically.
And again, although Randall did not talk about the severity, what we have is that his left knee, you saw immobilized there on the stretcher in the Eagles locker room, has 2 torn ligaments in it, that he'll have surgery tomorrow and be lost in all probability for the entire NFL season. So that's what we have, along with the comments of Randall Cunningham, obviously hoping for big things for the Eagles as a team and for himself after a brilliant Pro Bowl performance year last season. And now it all kind of goes up in smoke in 15 minutes and 4 seconds here today because he was hurt the first play of the second quarter.
It reminds me a lot when Kellen Winslow was hurt for the Chargers. He had his knee torn up. And to go from being the very best at what you do to being injured, the fall is so great that the psychological battle that he will face now in rehabbing that knee is a very difficult one. But you just feel so bad for anybody getting hurt, but a great one like Cunningham hurts even more.
Maybe his biggest test as an athlete lies ahead now with that rehab that he hasn't had to go through before. Fiegel's punt will go out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. And the Packers, who are out of timeouts with 4:04 left to go in the game, will take the field on offense again. And what must be running through the mind of first-year head coach Rich Kotite? And you know what's running through the minds of Lindy Infante and Don Mikowski. We need a bunch of points, and we need them in a hurry.
The important thing now for the Packers is this game has pretty much gone south on them. They're not going to win this football game, but it is important that they end this game on a high note. In other words, they've got to get some type of score, not so much for the fans or for the scoreboard, but for their own self-esteem.
And you talk about self-esteem that's taken a dip. You heard some of the boos in the background as Don Mikowski took to the Green Bay huddle. He is not, by any stretch of the imagination, had a very good day statistically. And the Packers offense has struggled accordingly. Here comes a blitz on the Magic Man, who steps up and fires complete to the far sideline to Jeff Query. And he's got a first down out near the 28-yard line. Pickup of 17.
But you see Mikowski there, it looks like he's more preoccupied with the rush and finding a hole in that line so he can step up into the pocket than he is with the secondary, which is where the quarterback's attention should be. But that Eagle front line's got great pressure on him all day.
Now to 3:42 to go. Mikowski trying to direct traffic from the shotgun. He sets and goes complete on a crossing pattern to Charles Wilson, who tiptoes out of bounds with another first down up around the 40-yard line. That stops the clock with 3:27 to go. It will be interesting now for the Eagles to see if they go searching for a quarterback too. We talked about Brad Gable a little bit earlier. He's a free agent who now becomes the number 2 man to Jim McMahon for Philadelphia. Seems like there's a lot of teams already looking for quarterbacks. You mentioned Phoenix earlier, Dan. Here's Mikowski on first down. Throws out, and Perry Kemp's got this one. Got bulldogged down by Ben Smith. And he's going to be close. In fact, I think he's got another first down. He does, right at midfield.
It appeared he got out of bounds, but the clock is rolling. Packers only have 1 timeout.
Packers receivers are holding on to it now, but it looks like it's way late. Down by 17. Mikowski had it batted from behind by Reggie White. Do you believe the day Reggie White has had?
And he's got the ball at the bottom of that pile.
He's forced a fumble. He's got 3 sacks, forced an interception on a tip ball, and now he's got a fumble recovery to go with it.
And his second forced fumble, watch number 92. We've been saying that all day long. This is Clyde Simmons, but Reggie's going to come from the other side. And again, it's the SWAT move with the right hand. Slaps the ball out of Mikowski's hand. The bounce of the ball goes right back to White. And he's starting off like the all-pro he really is.
Well, since 1985, nobody has done it better than number 92 as far as sacking the quarterback, and that includes Lawrence Taylor, in fact. And Reggie has had a big day here at Lambeau Field. and is one of the major reasons they lead the Packers 20-3 here in the final couple of minutes. Thomas Sanders, Scott Stevens had a nice day at linebacker for Green Bay, makes another stop. Stevens' performance overshadowed by Reggie White's, but he's got an interception and a fumble recovery today to go with several tackles. And he was a guy that they were wondering whether he was going to be a starter. Reggie White on the bench has done his job today. There's the numbers since 1975. Not bad, huh? That's over a sack a game.
That's a phenomenal statistic, and the key to his game is his versatility. We've seen him line up all over the defensive line so far today, and Bud Carson says that's what he wants all year long. He wants people saying, hey, where is that guy now?
They call him the Minister of Defense at the University of Tennessee, and he's on the pulpit here at Lambeau Field this afternoon at the 2-minute warning. Brad Nessler and Dan Fouts at Lambeau Field at the 2-minute warning with Philadelphia in command by 17 points, 20-3. Reggie White, 3 tackles, 3 sacks, a fumble recovery. He's forced 2 fumbles. He's defended 2 passes, one of them tipped to number 90, Mike Golick, who sits next to him there. And that was the first turnover of the day. I don't know what else he could have done. At the 48-yard line, the Eagles with a 2nd down and 11. Is going to be handing off to Sanders, which he does. Sanders broke 1 tackle, and then Scott Stevens, another stop for him at the 45-yard line. Some of the other finals today: the Cowboys out to a 1-0 start, spoiling Bill Belichick's debut as coach of the Browns. Kansas City stifles the Atlanta Falcons' red gun offense, and there's the one that's been the closest game of the day. New Orleans beats Seattle by 3, and the Jets also a 3-point win. Underway, the Vikings and the Bears. These are the games that many of you will be going to. Some other early scores. AFC matchups. 3rd down and 8. Philadelphia. Just a toss sweep here to Sanders, who just wants to hold on to the ball and not make a mistake. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Dan's old team trails the Steelers by 3.
Old team, way back there.
Clyde Simmons just signed in the middle of the week. Came on and played a lot today on the defensive line. Seth Joyner also a late signee. In fact, those two had the same agent and held out until the same day. They got a couple of rounds of golf in with Jerome Brown, and then he showed up the next day. So Eagles with all hands on deck, but of course all the frivolity that would have been on the plane ride back home with a win is going to be tempered by the loss of their star quarterback Randall Cunningham, apparently for the season. And Fiegels is just going to let the clock run out here to use as much as possible. 25 seconds is all that's left in this one.
Well, the Packers all last year had problems with turnovers, and they're starting off this year as they did last year. 10 turnovers in preseason so far and 5 today. And a very poor rushing attack. But you got to give Richie Kotite and his Philadelphia Eagles a lot of credit. That defense played a perfect game today.
Bud Carson will have a big smile on his face when it's all over. New defensive coordinator of the Eagles. Eagles with a knuckleball that lands near the 20 and then takes a great roll. And this is how things have gone for the Green Bay Packers today. That one rolls dead at the 4-yard line. Used 12 seconds off the clock. He gets a 46-yard kick to put in the stats for him. And Green Bay again will huddle in the end zone. That's been the story of the day. So the Eagles, who feel that they have the talent, at least they did before losing Cunningham, to be NFC East champions and be better than their 10-6 of a year ago, are going to go to the head of the class in their division with this opening win.
It'll be interesting to watch the Eagles this year as their personality will be forced to change. This team that Richie Kotite has put together is very similar to the one that McMahon played for with Chicago. An outstanding defense and a ball control type of offense. And how fortunate the Eagles are to have a backup quarterback like McMahon.
Here's a little quick draw to Workman, who got it out across the 15-yard line. And the clock's not running. That's
the home field advantage.
That's right.
Never say die.
it's not going to matter anyway.
They can't stop it.
Rich Kotite's debut as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles is a success. But while he wins a game, he loses a star. Randall Cunningham apparently gone for the season. And we want to wish Randall Cunningham the very best with an impending surgery coming up tomorrow. But the Eagles go to 1-0. And the Packers lose it at home in their opener. 20-3 is the final. So for Dan Fouts, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Lambeau Field. The final score, the Eagles 20, the Packers 3. Don't forget, game 2 of our doubleheader. You'll see either the Vikings and the Bears or the Cardinals and the Rams. CBS coverage of the National